Salam, shalom. I'm giving you all a chance to get in here. Quiet, solid. What you got me on, D? Salam. Now I want to do this deep video. Hopefully it's not too noisy or windy. That's my meditation. Now I want to give the youth a jewel before I begin on the topics. But I want to say this first in regards to boxing, 52 or whatever, you know, martial arts that you do. And y'all hold so much value to materials. I'm responding to Young God. He said, you gonna mess up the Jordans. Shit, they old now. More than that, it didn't even cross my mind. You get my point? Meaning, had you said something before that, I probably would have been like, yeah, you right, man. Let me chill. But I didn't even think of it. And so stop interfering with my pure thoughts, you know, my pure nature. Don't take offense, Eva. I'm just joking, but I'm serious. Y'all too materialistic. Y'all be thinking about things I don't. Really ain't that important, you know. All things that's new gonna get old. And that, you don't hold on to nothing. You don't never need to hold on to nothing. Material, just get your use out of it. You feel me? That way you feel like, well, at least I ain't waste. Ain't nothing worse than, you know, having a material and then when you finally like, let me go on ahead and dog it out. And then it's already dogged out just from sitting. So whatever you got, make sure you use it. You feel me? Because that truly is the worst feeling, you know, to have something and you kind of trying to hold on to it so bad that you don't even get to use it. And it wound up breaking and getting old on its own. Now, in regards to boxing, hitting the bag is good for like power. You're getting familiar with sticking. Like when I say sticking, like making sure your punch is kind of sticking on the target. A lot of times, you know, when you first learning how to fight, when you're swinging, you may swing hard, but you forget about the actual connection part. And like, is all four of my knuckles pressing in? Is it pressing in like it should? Or am I just connecting? So hitting the bag is good for that, to make sure you're connecting and to kind of build up your striking power. You know, correct wherever you're hitting the target wrong. Maybe your fists might be positioned wrong when you're hitting. So you use the heavy bag to kind of strengthen your wrists and strengthen your positioning. So the heavy bag is good for that. In regards to shadow boxing is something that you have to learn. You don't have to hit the bag, but you're gonna have to shadow box, because that's gonna help you to put everything into perspective. Meaning you're like imagining an opponent in front of you, but you're imagining his foot positioning, how he swings, everything like that. In that, you get a perspective of like fighting a person before you do. You get familiar with moving around, and you have to do that. The only thing better than that is actually getting into the ring and sparring. But sparring can be dangerous. I mean, you can beat yourself up before you actually have a real fight. And so shadow boxing, more than that, shadow boxing is therapeutic. Anybody that knows how to do it properly, where they have their mind into it, and it's therapeutic. The movements and everything. Not so much rushing through it, but just feeling the movements, like when you strike, like how it feels. It's therapeutic. And so I'm answering that because someone asked me, is it better to shadow box or hit the bag? They're both two different aspects of the thing, but Boss Man said, I'm a certified Thai boxing coach. I've trained Thai boxing in Thailand. Shadow boxing is something you must learn to do. See, I appreciate you throwing that out there, A lot of people think everything is in regards to talents and trades. The more you get kind of lost into society in Babylon, that's the cities, the countries. You think everything boil you down to like paperwork, or this person went to school for that, so they know better. So you see how you say you are certified Thai boxing. So probably in their perspective, they say, man, he probably better than Solace. I may be 1,000 times better than you. You get it? But you're certified. But let's say in real life, I had a bunch of real fights. You didn't, though. Like that. I'll say this to the young. Before school system and certifications, everything was known then too, as it is now, but you get my point? Certifications and schoolings on things in terms of institutions, it just got to do with business. I mean, they gonna get paid off whatever's known in life. So there's things that y'all know now that has nothing to do with school. Let's say YouTube. Everybody knows how to be a podcaster. In the time to come, they gonna have like where you can go to school to be a certified podcaster. In that, a lot of y'all will be like, hold on, man. People that ain't had nothing to do with certifications and things like that, we created that. But now the school system gonna monetize it and have kids going to school, and that the kids in them times gonna say, nah, man, I'll learn about being a podcaster better in school than listening to you. Not realizing, man, y'all the foundations of that. Y'all just not part of the government. So you get my point? Like that. Everything that you have in life you can go to school for, you will probably learn it better from somebody who has the experience that may not have went to school, but it's because they before that. Like, that's not how it was done then. You'd be better off learning that way than learning from, the institution. Let's say you want to be a mechanic. Fixing cars go before school. So if you can find a good mechanic, whether he went to school or not, but you get my point? If he didn't, but he come before those times where he learned from his great granddaddy, and you get it, like it was passed down through the family, you ain't gonna find, it's gonna always be better like that when it's damn near a family tradition and everybody just know it, whether they do it in life or not. Some of y'all have family traditions, things where everybody in the family they just know this thing. You get my point? And everybody kind of just learn it on their own time when they do, but everybody, it's just a trait of the family. It might not just be your family, it may be other families, but you get my point? Peace and wisdom, boss man. I should try and get a certificate myself. I don't want to have my hands all registered, because you get it? I don't plan on fighting for money or nothing like that. Professionally, I'm 42, my teeth and shit, when you get older, my teeth ain't loose, but when you in your 40s, your bones just feel brittle. In that, you get my point? I feel like if I get punched in the mouth, my teeth might fall out, but they not loose or nothing like that. But still, you feel, if you my age, you know what I mean. You like, nah, I don't want to mess nothing up. That's good, cause you feel me. When you get older, teeth important. You kind of cherish them, cause you like, shit. I see people losing them. I hold on to these gibbers. Let me hold on to my smile, big baby. I might need it. And so, I wouldn't fight for money, y'all. You get my point? I wouldn't fight for nothing. But if you attack me or something like that, or I know you are, no hands gonna be put on thy body. In the name of Jesus, do you hear it now? Yeah, that's a deep thing. Now, in regards to the bag and shadow boxing, like I said, those are two different aspects. But you definitely gonna need to shadow box. That's gonna make the difference from the person that win the fight and lose it. Meaning the person that see it in their mind already before they had this fight with you a bunch of times. You just wasn't there. And now that you are, you're going to get beat up. Like, you're going to get everything. I don't know how to explain it, but it's powerful. A person shadow boxing you, you not shadow boxing them. And that is like, you just step into their real reality that they already made. They already made this fight. And you get my point? They already practice for all the possibilities that can be. They train for what you know and for your potentials, because they say he training, so maybe he learning this, you know? You got people minds that go that deep. Meaning when you get to your best boxers, that's how they studying their opponent. They studying his potential, because they say he might show up, you know? If he really training, he should show up better than I know him to be. And that, I'm training for Blood's potential, meaning he got good footwork now, so maybe when he pull up that day, his footwork gonna be immaculate. And that I need to be training for immaculate footwork. And you get it? He fast now, but he gonna be 10 times faster if he training. They training for your potential, not for who you is right now. They wouldn't care about that. You got the other boxer, he coming in there, he training for the fighter that he know. Like, he say, I know he fight like this, so I'm training for that. He not training for like what could be. What if he come in here on some whole different kind of time? Like, who's his trainer? What you think he learning? Like, how he walk? His little, everybody got habits, you know, things that they just do that they don't even realize. I'll find his habits and, you know, his mannerisms. Now, here's a jewel for the young. I don't know why one quick moment takes so long. 14 minutes just to talk about shadow boxing and hitting the bag. Peace and wisdom, boss man. Yeah, as you get older, meaning those of y'all that's, you know, reaching 30, are you pushing past it now? You're going to either have to start jogging in the morning, meaning, you know, pick a schedule out the week, maybe 4 days a week, where you wake up and, you know, maybe jog for an hour or walk for an hour. I say that because, you know, as you get older, you ain't going to be using your legs a lot. In that, y'all going to be getting heavy, y'all going to be getting sick. And so you got to always remember you got to use your legs. And if you know you're not using them every day like you should be, get yourself on some kind of schedule. That way you get it, and make sure y'all kids, you know, is running around. Because you got to look at the self like a car. When you young, you running around. This is building up your immune system. You get it? And a kid breathing all hard like that after playing tag, you get it? It's pumping up and developing up their immune system. But if they ain't doing that, you'll come to see kids that ain't that active, they be a little sickly. It's because of that. Maybe you have a kid, he a little sickly or she a little sickly, but they ain't active, meaning they ain't running around and, you know, getting out of breath and none of that. It's because of that. them little baby lungs got to get worked so they could develop, you know? Kind of like use it to build it up. And make sure they swimming and things like that. That's going to develop their lungs and the immune system for the most part. I see a lot of kids not, you know, y'all sheltering y'all kids away because, you know, the time's kind of bad, but at the same time, they not getting all they should as a kid physically, like, you know, running around and things like that, activity-wise. And so, you know, when I look back, it's a little better to be a little poor because, you know, what you don't have in toys, then your people like make little games and dumb stuff for y'all to do. When I was growing up, we used to play like, you know, like dodgeball with each other and all kind of stupid little games we make up, you know. See that too much no more, you know, where the kids is running around playing, you know, manhunt or this thing or that thing, playing skellies, follow the leader. I run and jump over the gate, you got to do the same thing, like that. You don't see those things too much. Everything is like scripted, like I'm going to do this and then record it, and, you know, it's taken away from y'all, you know, getting all y'all can get out of life. Harder Broward said everybody have a game plan till they get punched in the mouth. Yeah, that's what they say. Everybody got a plan till it don't work. Everybody tough till they get chewed a little bit, so you get it? That's just how it is. Now here's a jewel for the young, those of y'all that may be 35 and under. Most of you guys that are 35 and under, y'all kind of grew up learning from online. Meaning if you're 35 now, 20 years ago, which would have been 2004, so you would have been 15. You get my point? Maybe then or a couple of years later, online start getting popular. So you get it? During your late teenage years, when you start to, you know, grow into an adult and kind of hold on to certain ideals, y'all are learning it from online. Now, when you're dealing with online is a place where people come and pretend like they more than what they are. Everybody. Maybe not everybody, but for the most part, everybody. It's basically television, so it ain't gonna be all the way true. But this is what y'all learn from. In that, you get my point? Y'all are learning false ideals or false ideologies, not because people are telling y'all to, but just because, you get my point? The environment that y'all are learning from. To give you an example, I'm gonna use myself, let's say. Let's say one of y'all try to insult me, right? Now remember, you're a young person just watching online. You're trying to learn, like, the perspective of life and how you should be. Now, let's say you watching online and you see one day somebody might try to play me. They say, man, I don't know. They might say anything. And I might say, man, shut up. You a slave. You get my point? You clock in at your job every day, and you get my point? You ain't free to do what you want. So you may hear that and you say, damn, he crushed they shit. They ain't had nothing to say back. And that, you say, that's the ideology to live by. You kind of take it as an ideology to live by. You don't look at it like, no, he don't care about what he said. He just trying to crush them because they got on his nerves in that moment. They was trying to play with him, so he playing with them back. But he may not really but feel that way. You get my point? Like that. Y'all are learning in that way, where y'all kind of... Y'all watching people on here arguing, bicker back and forth, but y'all kind of forget everything they saying ain't what they truly believe or stand on. A lot of the things that's said in moments of argument or somebody trying to play somebody is shallowness. But that's the point of it. You want to be shallow-minded when you agitating people. In that, you get my point? Y'all learn that way, and y'all view those things as ideology. So you say this whole generation, they don't want to work. But this is how that happened. You got multiple people online insulting people in that fashion. In that, you say, okay, that must be like, if I get a job, then I'm a loser and a slave, and I need to get my own business. And that's not reality. Life is order. So you don't have no income and you have no money coming in. And that, you have to be a slave or you have to work for somebody, which is the same. Slave is just a more harsh word. That's why they changed it. Meaning, they got rid of slavery in 1865, but they just really meant the word. Like, that's truly what they only meant. Otherwise, why? When they said slavery is over with in 1865, I don't think slaves was walking off the plantation that day. I'm sure they were still slaving. We still are. You get my point? So it's a deep thing when you consider everything. But the point I'm making, you have to start in an order if you're young, meaning you have no income. So at some point, you're going to have to work for somebody, whether it's a company, a business, an individual. In that, you're a slave in perspective. But that's the order. You have to crawl before you can walk. You can't say, I don't want to crawl, though. I don't want to be on the floor. You're already on the floor. So going to your knees before your feet is good progress. You can't go from rolling around on your belly to talk about, I want to skip the knee part. Why? It's all still good. It's only not good once you get on your feet and now you got to get back on your knees because you skipped that part. That's when it's embarrassing and it ain't good. But as long as you moving through order, I'm saying that if you young and you getting a job, this is nobody looking at you in a bad way. Nobody gonna look down on you. It's no point. Nobody expecting you to skip the knee part. Meaning nobody expecting you to get a whole business. More than likely that shit gonna fail and you gonna have to get a job. So you might as well start in the order. You get you a little job, get familiar with working, because the business is more work than a job. You just get to control your hours and how you do things and when you want to do things, but it's still an abundance of work. Clocking in for 8 hours a day, it don't really get no easier than that, but you get my point. That's a whole headache in terms of you not being free and being able to do what you want and still earn a decent living. So if you young, you want to get you a job, work, get familiar with working, get used to, the responsibility of it. Meaning where you're responsible and you actually going and doing what you need to. Because if you have your own business and you can control if you go or not, and your ass ain't never really put no work in, it's more likely when you get a business, you ain't gonna wind up never doing it. Because you like, I don't feel like it, and because I don't feel like it, it ain't nobody that can force me to. And that, you get my point? It's more likely you gonna neglect your own business. And so you want to get the swing of things for you jump, beyond where you need to. And so the point overall, when y'all online, try not to take things that you see as an ideology that people really live by. This is how y'all becoming so shallow brain, where y'all think like, I have to have this and I have to have that and I can't be no worker and this and that. Y'all have that mind because y'all watching online, people bickering back and forth. They saying all kind of shit to hurt each other's feelings because for whatever that moment may grant it. You get my point? But you don't take that as ideology because more than likely they don't. Everybody that came from hardship you gotta have a brain to know they don't have a shallow mind, but they may throw it around if it's gonna hurt somebody's feelings here or there. And most people, when they coming from the lows, you get my point, you had a lot of people stepping on them. So they gonna pull their ass out a little bit. They gonna let a little bit of doo-doo, a little shit, fall on people's shoe. That's what they call shitting on you. You gonna get a lot of that. You gonna get people shitting on people because you got people coming from their shit bottoms. And while they was there, you get my point, people was Macho Man Randy Savage and off the top ropes on them. They whole life. Maybe that's a bad I don't even know who macho. This when you know you old. When you start using references from your childhood and then nobody even know who you talking about, blah. Whoever you was watching as a kid is dead. I'm sorry, maybe he ain't. I apologize. But you get my point? Y'all on here mad talking about they beat up Buckshot. Blah, they don't know who he is. He's just some old nigga think he tough to them. They say, man, who is this dude? Like, you feel me? Be putting hands on him. Now I don't agree with that. Y'all don't be beating up legends, and you damn sure don't be beating up nobody over 40, especially when you younger, cause you got elders over 40, and I'm sure you know. No nobody want they elders that's over 40, 50 getting beat up when you like you know they ain't in their prime, you know? That part is what's gonna piss you off. You like they ain't in their prime, that ain't right. And so you wanna always reflect things back to yourself, man. You don't rob old ladies and do things like that because of that reason. You got a grandmother. You like, I don't want nobody taking advantage of her while I ain't around. But here you go. And so you get my point? And I have to learn a little respect. Being tough, having discipline come with that too. Meaning y'all think tough just means showing that you ain't got absolutely no control. Being tough and having control both go hand in hand. So that's what make you tough. When you can restrain yourself and everybody know. Now it's a good thing that he did because he would have killed that. You get my point? You want to look at yourself like that. And that you know when you show restraint and when you crush somebody. Y'all be crushing people when it's already known that you are. And that it make you look like a coward. But if you would have shown restraint in that moment, you get my point? Your status would have went up a little bit. And so it's the balance of the two. You got to crush people when you got to crush them, but you got to know when to have the restraint so people can know, nah, blood solid all the way around the board. His pride is even strong. You follow? His body's strong. He put that work in, and his pride is strong where you can't just, he ain't going to just jump for pride reasons. He say blood was running his mouth, now I'm going to beat him up. He ain't going to just beat you up for that. His pride don't control him. Like that, you want to get to that point where, you know, you're really like a cold-blooded soldier for your family, your friends, and all these things. But you get my point, the mindset is still stable and solid, where you ain't just jumping off the handle for any old thing. That ain't what you do. And so you want to take your time and things like that, meaning being tough is a process, a lifelong process if you can make it long. And it's about getting tough, and then you get it, softening out. That way everything be nice like it beat to be. Right now you might just be soft. And this ain't good. He's a sucker. But you want to get tough. And like I said, if you stay on the path of tough, I'm not saying y'all need to get on the paths of tough that y'all think. Shit, everybody got paths of tough. A working man wake up every day and gotta go to work. He young. Let's say you 21 years old. You sticking to that script, doing the right thing. It's gonna make him tough, man. You get it? Y'all out here doing what y'all want. He trying to stick to a script so he be good later. But that take discipline and that take a lot of strength. It's easy to just fall into the peer pressure. You follow? And so there's many different paths that's gonna make you tough. But when you on that tough path, the longer you on it, you kind of get the purpose and the point of why you need to be a little more delicate and soft in your way. And that, you get it? You get tough to get soft, but it ain't the same soft as, you know, no experience. Yeah, I be telling y'all that YouTube is promoting, it ain't necessarily YouTube, but the companies that kind of, you got a lot of people that got podcasts, but they signed to companies. Nothing changed from before. You get my point? But I guess a lot of y'all don't know before, so let me give y'all a little juice. You have companies signing rappers, let's say. But things change. Now you got podcasts. So you got companies signing podcasters. And YouTube is like the world platform. Let's say when I was growing up, television was like, you know, the basic channels was the world platform, and then you had the cable channels. This was like the sub-world platform. If you on a cable channel, you get it? You still kind of lit. You a star. But for that to happen, you got to be signed to some kind of company. You understand? And And so it's like that now, just on YouTube. Everything is a little different, but it's still the same. And so you got people signing these contracts to companies. And so you can say the companies really control, you know, the society that is YouTube and the perspective and what's being done. And so the biggest company in business in America is prison. So you got to grasp prison, alcohol, these things is going to always be promoted to y'all. And that you say, yeah, alcohol is another thing that they keep promoting. A lot of the podcasters, man, they all, you know, they got a liquor they keep telling us to drink. Like that. But it's because they signed to a liquor company. Meaning, when I say companies, I mean like that. You got liquor companies, you got clothing companies. They pay YouTube to control everybody on it. Meaning, you know, tell y'all to buy their products and things like that and control the tempo of the thought, so to say. And that, you get my point? Look at it like a magazine in the past. A magazine owner in the past make his money from the advertisers that pay him to advertise their stuff in his magazine every month. You follow? The magazine owner ain't making a bunch of money from y'all buying it. The company they signed to maybe get all that bread and they get a lump sum to just promote whatever they're promoting in the magazine. Say we give you a $70, $80, $100,000 deal to just promote this in the magazine, and that, you get it? They ain't worried about the money coming in from the sales. That's on the company. They the one that's going to benefit off that because they products is all in there. You don't care if it sell. You already got paid. That's how the podcaster is. Let's say Gilly and Wallow. That's how they are. They work for Barstools, and I suppose Barstools may be a liquor company, but you get it? Like that. And that they gonna always promote whatever liquor they be telling y'all to drink in the beginning of the thing. And they gonna get paid like anybody that work for a company. And if the numbers do good this week or they don't do good this week, they don't care. It ain't on them. In that, the company gotta make sure that they all in y'all face. You follow? Like that. So if you like, I'm on YouTube, I'm gonna get lit, you gotta sign to a company. They just made the old way digital. Meaning the magazine is the old way. YouTube is basically a magazine you don't have to read. You could just turn the pages and you follow. Go from this page to that page. It's a bunch of magazines in one. But behind the magazines, you got the advertisers. And that, do you get it? Everything is already bought and controlled. And that, y'all gonna be, they promote a lot of people from jail to y'all because jail is a business. They need y'all to go to jail, but they can't take out no commercial saying, yeah, come to jail. It's kind of nice in here. We painted the walls gray. It look just like your school, because school is jail. You like those little lunches you used to get at school? Yeah, we got the same ones here in jail. Come on by. Let me give y'all this deep wisdom because y'all don't get it. The education system is the prison system. It's the same system. It's the same institution. It's an institution to make you a slave. See, every person in prison is just a person that ain't a good slave, meaning they don't listen. They're like a slave that don't work right. Remember when I told y'all all kids is slaves? And I said, man, these kids in the daytimes, man, they don't even work right. They slaves that don't even work right. Like, all parents have their kids so they can have somebody to boss around and you know, be responsible for and tell them what to do. You know, go to the store for me. Go get my slippers. You know, the stuff y'all parents tell y'all. At least that's how I felt when I was growing up, and everybody my age, they'll say the same. Yeah, I felt like my parents just had me so they could tell me to go to the store. Get they slippers, get the remote. You know, a bunch of dumb stuff they could do on their own, and they was before I came. But you earn your keep. You say it ain't no big deal. I'll be a slave right now, but when they leave, I'm gonna be free. This is a kid from the 90s. parents is around me, I'm gonna do whatever they say. But when they leave, I ain't listening. I'm free. It's like ISS in school suspension. No, school is really. I have to remember, America is a newly developed place. And so if you go back to the beginnings of everything, then y'all will get why I'm saying what I am. Meaning, if you go back to the beginnings of the school system and the beginnings of the prison system here, well, they gonna bring you to slavery camps, to be exact. And so in early America, you had a lot of slavery camps. This is where you teach people how to be a slave, because a person is free. It's like a pet. You can't just catch a wild animal and then expect it to listen to whatever you say. You gotta teach it, like, and beat it, and you have to make it a slave. A thing ain't gonna just become one on its own. It's a skill, just like teaching a pet to not be a wild animal is a skill. That's how, like, slaves was in the past. You got wild people to do what they want. Now you gotta get their brain on a frequency where they do whatever you tell them on their own. Like, so you had slave camps. If you look this up, you'll see they still have them now. They just call them like refugee camps. They always changing words, playing games. You feel me? This is what America good for. You know, word games. Let's just change the word slave camp to refugee camp. Lord, y'all out here abusing people. How about we just call them camps for the people who was robbed of their place and abused? Like, making up other stuff to confuse it. Slave camp, refugee camp. Man, this is the whatever's left after we wreaked havoc on the place, camp. You feel me? This is what's left of after we OD'd on these people. They over here in this little place we made for them. And so school and the prison system go all the way back to the plantation, even before that, when you get in the slave camps and all of that. Now, when y'all kids go to school, if you ever been to prison before, when you walking down, you know, the corridor, it don't feel no different than your school. Meaning a lot of y'all never been to jail, so you say, man, I wonder what jail like a little bit. Just like school. All the tough guys you know, and you say, man, they was in jail, prison. They was in school, like, they had to walk in single file line down the corridor to go to chow, like, kids. If you a kid in elementary school, let's say New York, you see how y'all wear y'all little blue and burgundy uniforms? Yeah, they wear that in jail too. It's green though. But they grown. Like that. Prison and school is the same thing. It's a slave training facility, but prison is for all the people who already did the little kid version and they still don't listen right. So then they end up in jail. That's how that works. No cap. Like, you go to school, that's everybody. And then you got those that, you know, don't be listening right. Slave thing. Slave got to do what they told. And if you don't, then you basically a slave that don't work right. Like, remember, a slave is merchant. A slave is merchandise. Somebody bought that. So you get my point? From their perspective, they say the slave don't work right. It's like a VCR. You don't listen right. Like if you bought a robot, you like it don't. I ask Siri a question, but she ain't listening. Like, think she got a boyfriend or something in digital heaven. Now, yeah, they come up with new slave words every generation. Now, when you're dealing with the school education system, you know how y'all put y'all 5-year-olds in kindergarten and so on and so forth. They stay in there to 12th grade. This is all slave training to teach them how to be a slave in society. You know, sit still, do what you're told all day. And kids want to run around, so it starts then. They go to school for 8 hours a day, which is the same amount of time as a job. So they get to learn how to sit still and not lose their mind and stuff like that. That's what it is. It's like grooming to be a slave in society. Otherwise, most of y'all, you'd have ADHD still according to the system. Meaning ADHD is not real. It's only real in this system. Their system based on slavery. And so a slave need to be listening and doing what they told. So if you got ADHD, you say I ain't got the attention span, really you don't listen. The kid that got ADHD in school is basically the kid that don't want to sit still and listen. He not good from the perspective of you making slaves. But if you remove that perspective, then he just a kid. Like, they was just born. They was in the belly for 9 months. They just learned how to walk not too long ago, so you get it? They trying to run around. They trying to dive in ant pals, dive. They trying to get familiar with this place they just got to that everybody already in. They want to smell flowers, and you get it? They not trying to sit and learn how to count. But when you dealing with slavery, you got to know how to count because you're going to be working. You got to know how to read so you can know how to do what you told. There's going to be signs up telling you what you need to do because you're not never going to be free. So you're going to have stop signs and go signs, and you get my point? Like that. Now, how many of y'all overlook these things and you say, damn, I never really looked at it like that? Yeah, because you overlooked that this place started with slavery and that never stopped. That was just the beginnings of this glorious slave system that you live now. But when you building up a beautiful structure, the beginnings ain't that pretty. So the beginnings of this beautiful slave system that y'all live in, well, in its early beginnings, like any place, it's a little nasty to get it to its glory, which is where y'all slaves now and don't even have no awareness of it. Now go to slave school from 5 years old to 18 years old, and nothing registers in the brain where you say, hold on. Outside of society, whatever I learned in school holds no merit in life. They didn't teach me how to hunt and catch meat and feed myself. They didn't teach me how to shelter myself, like build a shelter. They didn't teach me nothing that will really matter in life if I was outside of society, or if society just was obliterated because of a natural disaster or something like that. If a natural disaster come, y'all know nothing. Only how to get along in society. But let's say a natural disaster come in, the banks and everything just shut down. Half y'all don't have a mind to even know, well, I'm still good. All I gotta do is hunt me some meat, and you get it? Go back to the old ways. Most of these kids don't even know animals are meat. They meat and they food come in the mail. they think it's organic, even though they put it in the microwave. Understand them. I just don't get them that much. But this goes deep, It's all slave training. When we all went to school at kindergarten or first grade all the way to, we graduated high school, that was all slave training for us to be slaves in society. They didn't tell you in school be an outlaw and do whatever you want. No, it's a grooming into you being a slave. In modern day, you go to work, you clock in, you told what you're supposed to do for 8 hours out the day. They pay you whatever they want to pay you for your time, and you get my point. They tax your check, they dock in your pay. You don't know why. You say they tax me, man. I don't know why. Cause they can. Cause they docking your pay, like homeboy told Queen Latifah on Set It Off. You feel me? I'm docking your pay. I'm sorry, y'all young. Y'all have no clue what I be talking about. Go watch Set It Off. Blood, he stole her money and all that. He was looking sharp. He had a little white prostitute, blood, stole that. I'm sorry. Let's focus on the topic again. I'll tell y'all off. Go watch Set It Off. That's where I got that from. And that's how y'all society work. They homeboy. They docking your pay. That's some of y'all my age. You like that? It's crazy. That's true though. They like homie. Queen Latifah, she had a boss. Blood just dock her pay because he says so. This how the government do y'all. Y'all get paid at the end of the week. They already took money out. You like, hold on, how they took it before I got it? What if I was gonna do like I do people in real life and be like, yo, can I pay you? Can I pay you next week? I ain't got it yet. What if I was gonna do them like that? They took it first though. Like that. You like, hold on, I don't even owe them. I ain't borrowed nothing from them. I think they borrowing money from me. They pay me back at the end of the year. They call it income tax. This is how bummy the government you live under is. The people above y'all are borrowing from y'all to then pay y'all back at the end of the year. This is bum shit. I'm gonna say it again. The government you live under, they borrow money out of all of y'all checks every week, and they still don't got enough money. Then they pay y'all back at the end of the year so they could re-borrow money out y'all check. I said, this is the bummiest. This is the bummiest system. They are making bums in life because they bums. Because when they tax your shit like that or borrow from you, they call it tax, and I call it what it is. You're borrowing money from your own damn slaves. What kind of master are you? How y'all working every week? They borrow from y'all every week, and they still broke and don't got it. Like, to where every generation they still gotta borrow every week. They could call it what they want. I call it what it is. Otherwise, why they paying y'all back then? Why they taking taxes and then paying y'all back? What that taxes don't get paid back. That part. They ain't taxing y'all. They bums. They borrowing. That's the point. They print the money. Do you get it? To then borrow it back. Type of loser. What type of loser do that? Just take your money and then, you feel me? You don't even hang with people that's gonna borrow from you every week. Like, nah, you doing too much now. I might as well hire you. Like, if you gonna beg every week. They made the end like I told y'all. No, why you gotta put old solace? I still stand on that. They turn animals into bums in this society that we live in. Y'all seen stray animals digging out the garbage. Animals could do whatever they need to do in nature, meaning you'll never see a bum animal in nature. They hunt their food, they feed theyself. You come into the Babylons, the cities, you see homeless dogs and cats. You say, how the fuck does an animal become homeless? They're homeless because they digging in your garbage. So you like, that's some bum shit. Homeless bums digging the garbage. How'd the animal become a homeless bum like a human can be? So you gotta look at the place you live in and say, hold on. They borrowing money out of everybody checking. They still broke, paying back at the end of the year and shit. They turn us all into bums in debt. We all got all this debt. Now the animals out here digging in the garbage and shit. You wake up, your garbage all over the floor. They digging all in it. Stray cats and stuff. And so it's deep out here. You gotta really put everything in perspective. It's a bum society. You gotta remember the colonizers, when they first got here, they was lacking. You travel that far, you be lacking on things. So they got here bumming. You pass that bum down, like, it go deep. They pass they bummy ways down to us, where we start thinking we lacking and shit. But we ain't. Peace and wisdom, Lance, the game master. This channel got to do with ungrooming y'all minds from being slaves. But you like, do you like Trump? When you asking like which master you like better, that's like, this what I mean. That's how that happened, when you never put no thought into that. You never thought about it like, damn, when I'm sitting here saying who I'ma vote for, this is the epitome of a slave. The hell am I sitting around happy arguing over who I want to be my leader and make rules for me? I see if it's forced on you. In the past, it was forced on them. They had no say in it. They slave master was their slave master, and that was that. But y'all all excited to pick y'all slave master now. So you say, man, who you like, Trump? I like that I'm free. And free is a mental thing, more than anything. And so do you get my point, brother? You're the epitome of a slave in regards to your mind, because you proudly say, well, who you like? I don't like nobody that's making rules for me. If it's forced on me, so it is, but I'm not about to never. I don't go along with things that's against me. I don't see the point. And so whoever follow me, whoever admire me, whoever like me, you get my point? I ain't never voting, so they don't ever got to be a slave. You get my point? You ain't never got to bring that on your brain. Who should you vote to be your master? Nobody. It's about you becoming an adult. You think your parents ruled over you your whole life so you can become an adult so you could seek somebody else to make rules for you? They could have just kept telling you what to do. Because when you was a kid, you didn't care who was the president. You already had a master, your mother. You become grown to do whatever you want, so you ain't got to do what your master, your natural one, tell you. This is your mother and your father. You get free from that to say, okay, let me find a master that's over the whole society I'm into. Nah, it's not about that. And so it just goes back to what I said when I said the society we live in are the institutions in the society, whether you're talking about elementary school, college, prison. They are institutions to groom y'all into being a slave. Prison is just for the, people that went to school and they don't listen right. And so y'all have to ungroom y'all mind from the slavery, meaning everything that y'all see in this existence got to do with that, making y'all a slave. When y'all bring y'all kids to school and they go to lunch, this is the same way the dudes go to lunch in jail. It's the same place. The food that's served in school, if you go to prison, you're going to say it's the same kind of. They got these same fish sandwiches. They got these same fish sandwiches with the cheese inside of it in jail. Like that. I ain't talking about the food they make that they bought from commissary. I'm talking about what they serve, what they don't eat. Because they say, I ain't eating that. The same way your kid go to school and say, I'm not eating that. Can you make me your lunch or give me some money? Because I'm not eating that. Like that. It's jail. And the kids sit there for the whole day. A lot of y'all say, well, it ain't jail. They get to leave. Yeah, but they got to come back in the morning. If they leave before their time is over, you know what happens? If your kid leave jail, this is his school. If they leave their school before their time is up for the day, the cops are going to go find them out in the world and bring them back to jail. That's school. And they call the cops truant officers, but these are the same cops that lock up criminals. They ain't the same people. These cops will catch your kids, bring them back to school, make them fulfill their time for the day. And if they don't come in the morning, the same thing. That's prison. If it's forced, that means it's prison. You the parent, you say, I ain't sending my kid to that prison no more. You going to go to jail because your kids don't belong to you. They belong to the country. You gonna send your kids to school. Are they gonna end up in baby jail, the real one? Like that. They gonna end up still going to school and you gonna end up in jail because you a slave that don't know how to listen to the rules. I'm telling all y'all that got kids, you say, I'm gonna keep my kid home and I ain't gonna let them get a part of the society. Maybe you homeschool your kid, but do you get it? His homeschooling is society's work. And go online with other kids probably, but you get my point? Keep him out of school all the way where you say, I ain't letting no part of that education system touch my child. You gonna be in jail. That mean your kid's not yours. If your kid is yours, do whatever you want with your kid right now. You'll see for yourself, okay, my kid ain't mine. If I don't send my kid to school, they will lock me up. That part. That mean the system own your kid, but they just letting you tend to the mother effer because they don't want to. It's like slave times. The master own them kids because the master own they mama, but they still let the mama titty feed the baby because they don't want to. They make the lady titty feed their own kids, but you get it? They gonna let y'all mamas watch y'all badass because they don't. But when it come time to slave y'all brains out, so y'all need to clock in for y'all 8 hours of slavery training. In that, when y'all get grown, y'all be good slaves. Where you don't even question, like, damn, why do I have to be at work all day? Why can't I be free? Ain't this real life? Ain't I'm really gonna die? So why do I really have to like give my time away if it's already gonna go when I die? The most precious thing in life is your time. That's your life. Meaning your life is your time, not what you do, your time. And you being able to do whatever you want with that time. If that time is sold or taken from you, you get it? This is your life. Most of y'all don't look at it that way because you get it? They slaved your brain out since kindergarten. You had people that was older than you called your elders. They went through the same slave training. So do you get it? It's all the way in there to where you wouldn't even notice nothing I'm saying on your own. I'm gonna say I never noticed that what you just said about kids not belonging to us truly. Yeah, I know you didn't. You ain't supposed to. Otherwise, the slave training don't work right then. That part. Oh, that was funny. I couldn't care less. Babylon monkeys living Babylon. Oh my God, that was a good one. I ain't gonna lie, I was gonna crush you right now, but I'm gonna let it ride because that was funny. Yeah, it's a deep thing on how to break free. I'll be giving y'all all these jewels to make y'all not slaves anymore, but it don't work because y'all slaves. Meaning all these years I've been teaching, 9 years, right? Almost 9. Y'all more slaves now than when I started. Y'all was working when I started. You still work. You haven't figured out how to free yourself even though you've been coming here for 9 years straight and I already told you a bunch of shit. I got a whole book that you could buy in. You get it? Like that. But y'all still slaves. Not more than that, y'all more slaves. The book got to do with debt. And debt being how you end up a slave. Y'all got more debt than when I started. And y'all more slaves than when I started. Meaning y'all have to be at a certain place and told what y'all have to do. And sell y'all time more than y'all did when I started. Even though I teach y'all how to be free or at least have a mind to know, I got to get out of here. Out of here ain't even a physical thing, but just mind-wise. It's my mind that is a slave. It's causing me to like cherish the lowest things that mean absolutely nothing. You get my point? Most of y'all that got a lot of things and some of y'all ain't got shit. Y'all all got one thing in common. Y'all say, I don't get none of this shit is point. The person that got everything in the world, they say, man, this don't mean nothing. I don't feel happy. I don't get it. Life ain't shit. It's cause what I told y'all. They slave trained us all out in that we take the lesser perspective or we put ourselves on the lesser ends of things thinking that that is okay. There you go. It's a whole setup. It's a whole slave training system. It start with the school system. But this go back to slavery camps. After they catch wild indigenous men, you get it? They got to teach them how to speak the language, how to count, how to be able to be in society with other civilized people, or basically other people that been made into pets, where they do what they told. If they put wild indigenous people from the forests in the cities with y'all right now, they will kill y'all because they don't know no better. Or y'all will have to kill them. Like that. They have to be trained like any wild pet to be how they supposed to be, which is to do what they told and already know what they supposed to do. And so you get it? This system we live in is crazy. He said it's jail with open doors. Noticed it when I just opened my door. Y'all don't live in jail in y'all own homes. Y'all homes is just like the back house at the plantation. The plantation is the whole state you live in. How they do it now is they let the slave pick wherever he want to live now. Just like I suppose on a plantation, they let the slave pick wherever he want to sleep in the back. You don't bring your ass in the house, nigga, but we got some horse sheds and shit in the back. You can sleep whichever one you want. New York City projects and all projects over the world, you know, where people live in the projects, that's designed after the slave plantation, where they used to shack them up in, like I said, the little horse barns and shit. The slave master now own the whole damn city, so you get my point? Y'all get y'all, you know, y'all get y'all number like in jail. Your social security number ain't no different than the nigga's jail number. You know that. That's how they keep track of, you know, they keep track of their stuff. And you get a birth certificate. This is like a car title. It say the make, model, and shit. Basically, it got your description on that motherfucking when you was made, and you like a car. Otherwise, what you need a birth certificate for? Meaning you a person, you free in your mind, according to you probably. So you tell me what you need a birth certificate for. You a slave, so you gonna say, I need one to prove that I exist. Paper don't prove you exist. We all see your ass. That's why you exist. If you remove you and just have the certificate, that shit don't mean nothing. Whether there's a birth certificate for you or not, you still exist, and whoever met you and know you, that can't be erased out of life. And so what do you need a birth certificate for? You telling me your parents will forget that you was born? Who gonna forget you was born if you don't have the proof in the paperwork? Like, that part. The paperwork ain't got nothing to do with you. The paperwork got to prove what city own your ass. So at the bottom of your birth certificate, you gonna see a city stamp. And that's to say that the family that own that city own you. All these cities we live in, they owned by people. That part. Some of y'all say, I didn't know that. You would never know that or they'd be dead. So you got a whole bunch of ranks and statuses of people who rule over y'all. And you get it? The higher up you go in these statuses, they don't care to know who above them because they don't want to mess up nothing they got going on for themselves. Do you follow? Like that. Nothing changed, just the names. They not using the word slavery no more, and you get my point? They ain't using the word plantation, they using the word plant. Take your ass to the plant and work, nigga. Yeah, that part. Y'all are slaves. I'm not saying it because it sound like a good metaphor. I mean, ain't nothing changed. This shit is crazy. Like, they still in our time, making us have to sell it. Like, you get my point? Y'all forced to work. Y'all don't work because y'all want to. Y'all work because if y'all don't, y'all won't eat. Y'all won't have clothes. That means it's a forced thing. If somebody depriving you of your bare necessities, that means they forcing you. And so most people don't know that the countries or the cities that we are citizens in, we could sue them for forced slavery, or we could sue them for, you know, breaking the amendment where, you know, you can't have a slave. Slavery is abolished. They're breaking that amendment when they force us to work. They said we ain't slaves, we workers, and that's why they don't get sued, and that's why you niggas still is what y'all are. But if you look up, I think that's the 5th Amendment, right? That say slavery is abolished. I probably got it wrong, the amendment number. But slavery being abolished was written into the Constitution, and according to it, no one can be forced to do labor unless they're arrested. Y'all ain't locked up, but they forcing y'all to do labor because y'all don't have an alternative. You say, I don't want to be a slave and have to clock in every day to earn money to give it back to the city. You know, this is what y'all do when y'all pay y'all light bill, gas bill, and rent or mortgage. You giving the money right back to the same goddamn government that, you get it, is taxing you and responsible for your whole having to work. In that slave, we don't get paid nothing. We get paid so we could pay for whatever they gave us, basically. Even though they stealing, like, You're not allowed to cut down trees and build your own house. In that, you gotta work and slave for the paper so you could go to they stores and buy wood. It come from the tree. You can't cut it down yourself and make your own wood cuts. You gotta go to Home Depot and buy it. Home Depot take paper money, so now you got to go get that. It's like that. They're depriving y'all of your own bare necessities, forcing us to work. Let's say you a carpenter. You say, I could build myself a house better than any house I could buy. But you're not allowed to cut down trees and do your own thing and pick a place that you want to live and build. They gonna make you buy all that. So then you have to slave first to get some. You get my point? It's against their own rule. But nobody bring it up. Because according to y'all don't even know y'all slaves. It was abolished. According to the common person in the day, they not a slave. That's why they are. The slave going to naturally protect the master without even thinking about it or realizing it. In that, the natural person going to feel like, I ain't no slave. I just got a job. And that's my main point. Your perspective is why it is. And you don't know why you got that perspective. Meaning you don't know why it just pop into your mind and feel like, I ain't no slave. I just work. Like that. Even though you don't want to, though. You get everything I'm saying and you don't want that reality. But your mind naturally defend the government. And it kind of say, well, fuck what this nigga talking about. He just some dumb nigga sitting on the side of the river. But I'm free. Meaning I could do whatever I want with my time right now. Even sit down and talk to your goofy ass. Like that. And I'm going to earn the same thing you earn, probably more, because the sky's the limit. I just got paid for like $1,000 one-on-one a few days ago. The person that bought it, they know who they are. And I just sold a few books and all type of shit. That probably gonna equal your whole weekly salary if you make $1,000 or more. That's like $1,500 between last night and today. Like that. They not gonna tell you that. The nigga that sell franks out there, that nigga sold 100 franks for $3 a pop. That nigga made $300 yesterday. Like that. You say, hold on, you telling me the frank man that stand out there and sell franks make more money than me? Yeah. The way your perspective work, you got so much pride like a slave, you don't even realize nothing. Don't take offense if you work a regular job. I'm trying to enlighten you, not belittle you. Just enlighten you, that's it. Your reality already is what it is, but you get my point. First comes the awareness part. So don't take offense, because that's how the slavery you was groomed under work. I give you these Jews, then you gonna go against me and say, fuck that nigga. Why do I need to give back to him or purchase anything that he sell when I work and I'm a slave according to him and he free? It ain't according to me. It's according to the system you live in. I'm just trying to tell you. If I don't tell you, then I save myself, because I say they'll buy my books and they'll support me. But if I tell them their reality and how to get out of it, then they gonna be like, I'm gonna compete with this nigga now, because you get it? It make it tricky where a person say, I don't know if I could tell them the truth. This is why y'all all keep whatever truths y'all know to yourself. Some of y'all know some true realities, but you say, I'ma just keep my goddamn mouth shut. Some of y'all say, man, that stuff you be teaching about Jesus, yeah, I knew some of that shit already. But I ain't say nothing, because I already know. You get it? Like that. And it's all slave grooming, meaning we all move in the way we do, where we fuck ourselves over and whoever helping, because we all went to slave training. It started at kindergarten. Peace and wisdom, D. I will appreciate that gift back. I could buy this little tiny house and put it on you. It's a deep thing. I was supposed to do something yesterday. I kind of forgot. But hopefully you being honest. A lot of people There's somebody like you. I'm not saying you lying, but there's a young man that was following me for quite a while. He was sniffing cocaine when he was like 18. You know how y'all be. Get young, y'all get lost in life. He was sniffing cocaine and drinking a lot. And you know how y'all be. He started watching my videos and it changed his mind. You know, sometimes I be touched like right now. If you really listening and you ain't got no perspective against me or nothing, you like, oh, this is deep shit that I really need. It's gonna help some of y'all to not, be a slave next year, the year after. When I say a slave, I don't mean it like that. I mean we was all groomed to be. And so to free your mind and self from it, that shit is a process, man. Everybody different, so the same things ain't gonna work for everybody, but you get my point. It is what it is, but in any event, the young man was on cocaine. If you know cocaine, you know that ain't nothing to play with. That shit had you fucked up for years. And so he heard my words, got a few one-on-ones, and by the time he 22 or 23, he changed his life. He's still listening to me now currently. He never stopped. And so he keep listening, he keep growing as a person. He got his own little business now. He basically, like how I teach y'all, I'm trying to teach everybody to be free, but it's as much as you lock in. And so he lock in, he listen, he get his one-on-ones, and he free. For the most part, as much as he can be. The point I'm making is, he like you, I think, meaning you say I'm going to give back 5K. So one time he told me he was going, give me a proper give back. But he didn't. And I realized y'all peoples be like, y'all peoples be convincing y'all to not support and give back when y'all ready to. But when y'all was on coke and all that kind of shit, where was they at? Where was his parents when he was sniffing coke? Why they couldn't reach him? That's they kid. That's not my kid. And you would think a parent would have respect for that and say, damn, if that's the man that helped you to get off cocaine, yeah, look out for him. Shit. They should do it for him. But you see my point? They'll be the main ones to probably tell him, like, nah, don't look out. And I noticed a lot of y'all like that. Y'all be ready to give back, and then you kind of just change your ways a little bit. And that's all the slavery that I be talking about. You get my point? Meaning, a lot of the psychology and slavery things they put on us, it all got to do with understanding minds. You got different kind of minds. And the mind gonna filter whatever you give it according to what it is. Like, to give you a perspective, you have criminals. They have a certain mind. View their mind as a vibration. A criminal has a certain mind and it has a certain vibrational pattern. The person that go to work and is a good law-abiding citizen, they got a mind that have a certain pattern. They all have the same mind overall. Just like the criminal. Same with the poor person, same with the liar, same with the slave, same with the truth person. Now, whatever wisdom or knowledge I give to a slave, because they have a slave mind, their mind is going to filter and transcend it into some slavery shit or something that's going to make them more of a slave. If I give the same knowledge to a criminal, they gonna take the knowledge and do crime with it. It wouldn't even have nothing to do with crime, but the way they mind work, it will be filtered in to make their crime better for them some kind of way. Just like the slave will take whatever knowledge and make their self to be a slave more, not realizing it. Same with the criminal. Not realizing I'm digging myself deeper into crime. I was just given wisdom to free me from it, but my mind is crime. It's the same with the poor person, the rich person. Everybody has a vibrational, their mind has a vibrational pattern. It has to do with the environment that they're in or come from. And until the vibration is changed, it wouldn't matter what you tell them. Their mind is going to transcend the information into whatever the mind is. If the mind is criminal, the information is going to be made crooked. If the mind is lie, the information is going to be made into lie. So on and so forth. If the mind is a slave, the knowledge is going to be made into making the person more of. And so the society we in, you're dealing with top level scientists and things like that, psychologists and all that. And so they study the minds. And it's about control through the minds, meaning you don't have to physically control anything. You can control the mind of a thing. Your common person, they will view that like a movie because they already slaved your brains out. In that, you can't grasp, like the same way when you was a kid and you used peer pressure and manipulation to control people. It just times that by 10. Let's say maybe you became a master at that shit, like that. Y'all done had people throw their whole goddamn life away because you peer pressured the shit out of them. That's how good your peer pressure skills was at 8. And had that other 8-year-old stealing out the store and got caught like Doughboy. Because you the master manipulator at 8. And some of y'all like that now. You evil. Nah, I'm just playing. You just a slave doing what you learned in, your slavery. But like that, they control the society through psychology. Manipulating and peer pressure, this is psychological things. And so if you get my point, to go into school and all of that, that's slave training. It's all a psychological thing. It all helps to make y'all perspective completely slaved out, where y'all will always choose to be the slave or do the slave thing. There you go, transmuting thought into reality. It's not about transmuting thought into reality. Thought's going to become reality on its own. You just need to control the thought. However you think and however you speak, that's what's going to make your reality, whether you like it or not. And so the only thing you can control is what you think and speak. This is why I tell a lot of y'all, you know what separates a rich man from a poor man? Conversation. Say, Solace, I don't know no rich people. You ain't got rich conversation. You got broke nigga convo. You got, I'm trying to convince myself everybody is broke in front, and so I could feel better. You got that thing going on, but because you come from whatever environment you is, you don't know no rich people, you don't even know that you got that problem with yourself. And that nobody rich want to talk to you. Why? So you can convince them they broke like you? Then they gotta show you they ain't? They say, I'd rather not even deal with them. What's the point of impressing somebody that can't do nothing for me anyway? Y'all got the different mind. Y'all get money, y'all say, man, I want to impress niggas. I want to show off to society. People below y'all though. You get money and then you want to go back to the neighborhood you came from and show off to all your old friends, even though they can't do nothing for you. You further along than them, you supposed to do something for them. Like that. Y'all in the senseless foolishness. No thought. Just doing. And so you get my point? Don't take what I'm saying as an insult. Just take the juice of it. What separate a healthy person from a sick person, a happy person from a sad person, is the simplest thing y'all can grasp. Conversation. You sad and bitter right now, the next person ain't. You know what separates y'all? Conversation. You bitter because of the perspective you choose to take in life. You a victim. That's your perspective that you always take. Somebody always did something to you and they wronged you. And so now you bitter. But you get to win being a victim though. Meaning you right and everybody wronged you. So now you good. Even though you ain't. But it's all psychological. Most people never learn these things. Like, oh, I'm doing this to myself. Ain't no reward in ain't no reward in this shit. I might as well forget it. Like that. Y'all never took a chance to think on that and say, oh yeah. What am I doing that for? Slave stuff. Psychological games that was put on you that you get it, running a course in your own mind on their own, and you don't. You get my point? It's like the AI is smarter than y'all, but y'all don't get it. So the AI teaching y'all, and y'all think y'all using the AI. Y'all think y'all using Siri. Siri using y'all to eavesdrop in here and get to see everything in the physical that she wouldn't see otherwise. But according to you, Siri ain't nothing. Siri just some voice in my phone or whatever. They programmed it like that. Oh, okay, no doubt. That ain't a demon, yeah. You right, that ain't a demon. What would I know? Peace and wisdom. You said I would be down to move in the solace community. I'm not a total have not. It gotta be built up. That's the only thing. And y'all gotta want to be in South Carolina. And, a small few of y'all that can fit. So, y'all got to earn more so we could buy more space for others. So, you gotta keep the blessings going. You get it? That's my only thing. You can't just stop at yourself where you say, I'm free, so fuck everybody else. Nah, I can't do that, so y'all can't. I gotta talk to y'all every day and make sure maybe at some point it help y'all and work in y'all brain. And so if you blessed where somebody say, man, you could come live in my community, you ain't gotta worry about being a slave no more. Well, y'all all gotta come together and, somehow raise money or get more land for others. You keep the blessing going, like, and keep the blessing going forward and backwards, meaning you pay back and you pay forward. That's what make you real. Somebody look out for you, you pay them back, and you pay it forward. And that's what you call balance. That's what you call a realist of real, motherfuckers. So you slowly groom yourself into getting there. When you fully responsible for self, it ain't got nothing to do with what you have or don't have. It just have to do with your mindset. Once the mindset is there, you gonna have. You ain't never got to worry about like you not. You gonna have. Because the mindset, you get it, is on a certain frequency. A lot of y'all don't have in certain moments because you live beyond your means or you have a bunch of things that you think make you worthy in society. But behind all those things, you kind of got a peaceful existence, or you would, where you ain't never got to be borrowing and shit like that, but you do, because you got more desire than income. And so everything's simple. If a person can grasp. And so everything's simple. It just depends on the mind. Can y'all still hear me over this water coming in? Peace and wisdom, Drea D. I concluded y'all too far gone, but to be honest with y'all, man, a lot of people have given me land over these past few years. And so, like I said, a lot of them just need to be like cleaned out, meaning it got overgrowth. It's just sitting there. It's a whole bunch of, trees and shit all over the place. I know y'all think, man, why you don't do it? I ain't got no problem. You get my point? It ain't gonna make no difference for me. I ain't no slave now. Like that. It don't make no difference for me. It's for y'all to get it. Peace and wisdom, Drea D. Thank you for the give back. Yeah, like DJ Trump. I don't know who that is. I'm not at the beach though, champ. Beaches have sand, not rocks. I don't know if you realize that. But I'm the source of all of this, so they're doing videos out in nature. I know you got a lot of that now, and you got a lot of people, maybe have riverside videos. And it's not ego when I say it. I'm the start of all of that. And ain't nothing wrong if you adopted that. That was the point. When I first started, I was telling y'all need to be more out in nature. So I'm glad that y'all are. I'm glad y'all fishing and you get it. A lot of these things start with me. You motherfuckers was like lost. A lot of people in my neighborhood, you see them out here fishing, they wasn't doing that when I first was coming out here. Nobody was out here. And so it's a deep thing. I always recognize my work, meaning I don't want none of y'all to think like, I know my achievements. They got to do with real life things, Not so much medals and things, but you see people out in nature, you see people by the riverside, you see people fishing over shotguns, and my boy, your boy Big Who said. I started doing all of this. You get my point? And I never stopped. Like, I don't want you to think like I was doing videos in the wilderness and then I stopped and everybody else started. No, I never stopped. But you watching me, maybe you think, man, he probably got that from DJ Trump. I don't even know who that is. But I'm sure they know me. I'm the most known, unknown person. Like y'all silent brain, everybody coming at some time or another, you feel me? And they get their mind a little sharpened. It's hard for some people, and some people enjoy it. Some people enjoy the sharpening, and others, man, it hurt. But, everybody get what they get. Now, if you look at a child's school or elementary school, you'll see all the correlations to prison you need. From the corridor, to the food they eat, to the if they try to leave before they supposed to. Even to the if you try to break them out and keep them from going, you'll end up in jail and they'll still be going to school. Just through kid jail. Jail. School is school jail. It's the same though. Prison. Anywhere where you held. Shit, if you held and you don't want to be, you get my point? That's prison. That's kidnapping. And school is a kidnapping system because if the kid leave, they gonna kidnap the kid. Now, a lot of y'all say, but they don't call it kidnapping. And because the system y'all live in view it as y'all are its slaves, and so is y'all kids. And that, how can they kidnap their own stuff? They'll lock you up and take your kid if you don't do what they say. They say your kid need to be in school. You say, I don't think so. Then you go to jail and your kid still go to school. Your kid be in the system after that. With its true owners. You only thought you owned the kid because you don't realize you like the slave in the past where they just breastfeed the kid and take care of the kid. But the perspective that the kid have is the perspective that the plantation master want him to have, not the mama. And that's how everybody is in society. Y'all have the perspective society wants y'all to have, not the perspective that is best for y'all or the one y'all would truly want. And all of that's designed, meaning us becoming slaves start in school. If you could free yourself from this system, you can have kids outside the system. They won't even know your kids exist to enforce anything upon you. And you just stay out the system. There's no law that you lived on your own land and lived however you lived. Say I've had kids and I brought them into the system when they was 20 and grown already. Nothing will happen to you. But as a damn Babylon monkey, oh, something will happen to you. And so you get it, before you keep your kids out of school, you got to be outside of city limits. You got to have a community of your own, and that the kids could run around with other kids and learn from nature, which is the way it's supposed to be, with our guidance. Nature teaches, but you get it? The same way I guide y'all, and I say, you see the sun rising and setting, that's the lesson to give and receive, that's your balance and all of that right there. About 50 different lessons in that one one thing happening repeatedly. And so you get it? The kids learn from nature. The elders will guide them through that learning, you know. And they be better off in regards to being able to survive in life and fend for themselves and be dependent where they don't need no master or no system to rule over them, so they be all right. If there was a natural disaster right now, y'all kids would have to run to some type of store or some type of government because they don't know how to hunt, fish, none of that. They don't know how to do nothing to take care of themselves outside of the system. If I tell a young person in the daytime, man, how you gonna make yourself clothes in the wilderness? They say, I need thread and needle. Okay, well, what's thread and needle in the wilderness? Because this is where everything you know come from. Meaning if you know thread, you know needle and thread to sew. That come from the forest. Wood, food, anything you could think of you buy from the store, it come from the forest. So what's needle and thread in the forest? Meaning what makes needle, what makes thread? 90% of y'all have no clue. Now what makes thread is plant fibers. You want an example? That. You've been watching and you say, man, this dude ain't smart. I'm smarter than anybody you know. Just relax. The fibers inside every plant is spun into thread. You know, like Rumpelstiltskin. He spins straw into gold. Really, he spins straw into thread. But Babylon Monkey don't know nothing. Anyway, there's your thread. You got different kind of plants. They all have different fibers. So this make for different fabrics or different kind of threads, like silk thread, cotton thread. Do you get it? Natural disaster happen, y'all don't know how to make clothes or nothing. Some of y'all can sew and all of that, but ain't know how to get no thread. Like that. Now, some of y'all say, damn, that was deep. I never knew that, but that's something I'm going to keep. Exactly. Imagine a day in the wilderness with me, how smart you'd be. Learning directly from nature. Imagine you brought a spinning jenny with you so you could just go on ahead and get to work right there. Spinning jenny is the machine that they use now to turn, you know, fibers into thread. Or they probably got a better machine than that now, but you get it? Little spinning jenny machines. It's what they used to use in the past before stores. You know, everything had to be made, you know, by the family. Some people in the family hunt. Some people, you know, some grow, some sew. Everybody got their job, their duty. And so, Bill, me and media said, I got holes in my socks. Yeah, you tacky. And so that's what I wanted to do when I first started teaching. When I first started, I was teaching y'all about the land and all of that. It's religion when all these people got all of that nonsense from. But not like how they was doing it. But you get it? I wanted y'all to go out into the wilderness and, you know, and learn, you know, all the things that keep us dependent on the society. A lot of these things is fun for little kids, meaning a little kid, that's like arts and crafts for them. So you imagine an 8-year-old learning how to spin, you know, plant fibers into thread. They love that. You might not so much. You older now. You say, I don't care. But they would love to sew clothes and all of that. It's fun for them. In the past, the kids did all the work. Because when you a kid, work is not work, it's fun. You washing dishes, your little kid come up, he 3 years old. Can I help you? Desperate to sweep up and all that with you. But you like, nah, you ain't doing it right. I'm trying to get it over with. Just get out the way. Nah. This how y'all really are though. Tell your kid, man, I'm trying to sweep. Every time you sweep, you mess up more. Just move. I got it. But in the wilderness, y'all say, nah, this actually work out perfect. They want to go pick plants. You like, damn, I gotta sew up some shit, but I gotta gather up mad plants so I can get the fibers. But you don't, cause you got mad kids and they like doing dumb shit like that. They live to run outside and go gather up all the plants. You tell them, hey, take the fibers out of those too while y'all at it. They don't mind. It's fun for them. And this is the beauties of being in the wild, with nature, with mama, husband and wife. They gon' have 50 kids. Ain't nothing more glorious than that. The kids learning from nature, nature taking care of everybody. You just gotta keep up with nature. In that, you get it, the kids become your help. I'm gonna tell y'all this if you young, and this is just the deepest jewel I could give most of y'all if y'all young. Cause y'all live in a time where y'all feel like y'all need to be isolated out and you don't need a man and you don't need a woman. Everybody is halves. If you a man or a woman, you're a half. And the opposite thing of self is the whole. So if you a man, a woman is the other half to make you whole, and vice versa. Meaning the two go together. No one can argue on that. In regards to life manifesting forth, the two go together. In that, do you get my point? You don't need a spouse to be great or successful. But in regards to fulfilling yourself in your life, you get my point? You're supposed to be looking for your other half. This is somebody that's the perfect match to you. But the opposite thing. Meaning if you a man, there's a woman equivalent of you where y'all merge perfectly. And y'all will fulfill each other and raise each other up. Of course, if you don't find that person, maybe you find something close to it, so you get a little higher than you are. You get it? You find something that you ain't supposed to, it bring you to your lows. Meaning a relationship could bring you to your lows or your highs, but it all depends on if you know self and you picking your other half according to knowing yourself. You get my point? Most people don't know they self. And that, they don't know how to pick for themselves. But don't never get to a place where you feel like, man, I don't need no man, I don't need no woman. Man, y'all got elders that's gonna die. And y'all got all this time to make yourselves family members, man. I'ma say that again. You could use my daughter as an example, my son. Man, they young right now, 22, my daughter 22, my son 13. I'ma die and they mama's gonna die. But they got all this time to meet good people, have children, and build a tribe so that they could have a family when I'm gone. And this is what we don't learn as people. I don't want to, dig all in y'all souls too much. But if you young, listen to what I'm saying, because we out here alone. And that's the problem. Y'all not building y'all tribe starting as kids, where you having friends and y'all friends on morals and things like that. Y'all gonna be bound forever. Solid. Never betraying one another. Never competing or going against one another. Having kids together. Meaning you got a wife, your best friend got a wife, and you get it? Y'all all living together and raising up together like a tribe. It's already like that in the projects and in the ghettos, but under Babylon's system. Not under her freedom, where you get it? They understand, like, nah, y'all all gonna be, y'all the new family when we die. Meaning most of y'all need to be telling y'all kids that I am going to die. I know you don't want to hear that. But your ass 30 years old now, man, I'm going to die. You need to be building yourself a family, meaning you need to be meeting somebody that's good to you. Y'all need to be having kids, and y'all need to have the freedom to do what y'all want and grow with others and build a whole tribe in a nation, or at least a small family, so that you always have backup in this life. And everybody in this life come from a tribe or family, and you out here alone. Like that. We all supposed to be building up, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, we gonna be dead, but the young ones ain't. They still gonna be around, if you know everything willing, for quite a while. And so that's the first law that, if I had my own country, that'd be the first law, man. You gotta teach your kid to understand, like, family and how they got to be building up a family for themselves as they go. That way, when I die, even if I live long, say I live to 100, my daughter be 80, but you get it? There's so much more family added to the family. To be able to see that glory is even greater, but to know your kids is building up a family and a tribe for themselves of, solid people, they don't feel so bad leaving. You say ain't gonna be alone, they gonna be good. I got about 3, 4 kids. Them kids got about 20 sets of cousins, and they all together. And so you get my point. We lose in that aspect of ourselves being in society, man. Meaning if you black, your family ain't looking right. And it's a lot of you little black dusty asses out here too. And y'all all separated, serving the system. Meaning doing exactly what the system want us to do. Separate ourselves from one another so they could slave us the hell out. And so we got to get out of that. We got to start getting smart. Everybody y'all grew up with and knew, whether cousins, friends, families, we all had kids. Our kids supposed to all be locked in. Soldiering out here. You touch one of them, my daughter gonna pull up, they gonna pull up, you gonna get crushed. And the elders is pulling up. We ain't living like that. You get it? I ain't gonna lie, my family ain't tight, but we used to be like that. Will you get it? Motherfuckers start pulling up out of anywhere, from Manhattanville, Queens, everywhere. Hold on, what you doing? It's a lot of cousins. I got one sister, maybe my cousin got a sister, maybe my other cousin got a couple of brothers and a sister, but you get it? That shit make for a lot of cousins. And we all know each other. It's not like we didn't grow up together. I'm not from y'all time, so we all grew up together. All my cousins know each other. We just ain't cool like that. But do you get my point? Imagine if we was. And our kids was locked in too. Like that. You were forced to be reckoned with, and whatever's going on in your life, you already got your backup. You ain't got to be borrowing from your fucking friend that's a stranger that's gonna be talking about you. You got hella family members, y'all all locked in. And once they hear you slacking a little bit, everybody coming and chipping in their pennies, and you gonna be alright, nigga. You is not gonna embarrass the family, and the family ain't gonna embarrass you by letting you get it fall short like that. We don't move like that no more. Again, when I was young, it was like that. So I know what I'm saying ain't a reality. It just ain't one now. And a lot of y'all elders ain't telling y'all that. Like, yo, when I was growing up, no lie, we all was locked in, man. I don't know what happened, but shit, we was all locked in. And you get it, if you touch one of us, nigga, everybody come outside. Friends included. They like family too. They gonna come out too. They mothers too. It ain't just the cousins. You grew up in the neighborhood. Your best friend, man, y'all mamas is best friends. That's how it be back in the day. My homie back in the day, his mama hang with my grandmother. In fact, all the niggas I hung out with in the projects, all our mothers hung together. Like that. It's like a tribe. It don't have nothing to do with blood. They go beyond blood. And so we got to get it back like that, Everybody family gonna fall apart the more we go through society just letting it slave us out. It's gonna be like that. It's gonna go against us all merging back together. You figure All people, all races start from one, truly. And they all mankind, but we've been separated. We've been mixed breeded, separated out in the mind and physically. And so you get my point? We think we different, but it's all about the comings backs together. Like, we all just long distance cousins and all kind of other shit like that. And you follow? We all serving the system as individuals, not working together for ourselves until the system, fuck you, serve your own self. The system can't. It need us to do it. And so it's all about the mindset. Most people got the slave mind because, like I said, it start with the school system. They groom you to be a slave. And that, when I tell all of y'all, man, if everybody quit their job, that's a civilian. I don't care if you a cop. Whoever got a job, if everybody quit their job together, everybody will keep everything they got, and you won't have to pay for it no more, slave for it no more. And who gonna turn off your light bill if you don't pay it? All the people that work at the light company gonna quit because they civilians. Who gonna evict you if you don't pay your rent? Everybody at the rent office quit because everybody's civilians. They use the civilians against the civilians. The nigga that come cut off your lights, he work like you. The nigga that come evict you out your house, he at work like you. The owners of the place ain't doing this. We doing it to each other. If we all stop, ain't nothing they could do. You think the government gonna come down and start disconnecting y'all cable and shit? Because they ain't. I hate to hurt your heart, but they not. You stop paying your car note, but who gonna come take it from you if everybody quit? That part. That's what I was trying to teach y'all when I first came. But y'all kind of, like I said, it's all a mind's vibration. So y'all kind of slaved out. And that I gave y'all deep wisdom so that we be free. And y'all transcended all that wisdom into now y'all buying land, ain't doing nothing with it, but y'all just using it to throw it in the faces of whoever ain't got shit going. That wasn't the point. While getting in debt doing that. That part. And so it's like I said, it's all a mind thing. The mind is on a slave vibration. Whatever knowledge you give to that mind, it's going to transcend it over into whatever it is. And that y'all just get the knowledge and just use it against each other and me more and more. It become redundant. For y'all, I'm just fulfilling my glories. But for y'all, you get my point? That sunset, and I think I should turn the camera a little bit. Let that thing be looking beautiful. Yeah, that kind of family structure is paradise, but most people in the daytimes they ain't even see it. I know what it's like to, like, my sister, my cousins, man, we all mobbed up in the house, downstairs, you get it? I remember growing up in the neighborhood, everybody like family. If there's a problem in the neighborhood, the older people in the neighborhood coming to get us from school. Because if we walk down the block, we might get jumped by the Puerto Ricans, and they ain't having that. They come up there beating up a couple of motherfuckers. We ain't even they kids, but they like it don't matter. They from the neighborhood, and everybody from the neighborhood gonna get back to the neighborhood. And you got niggas risking their life for you when you like 8, 9, 10. You don't even know what's going on. Like, why you picking me up? Just shut the fuck up and y'all all come on. You get back to the neighborhood, you like, oh, it's a war going on between the Spanish people and the black people, and you get it? They ain't letting nobody come home by themselves. I done been through that, where you see the togetherness. That's why it's sad when I look now. I'm like, y'all just desperate to go against each other. You don't. That shit be looking powerful. Like, when I was young, it was a little war between the blacks and the Puerto Ricans, and that really happened. The OGs from my hood, there's an OG from my hood named D. He ain't my daddy. Always pull up, him and a bunch of other OGs. They pick us up from school, whatever. Gangsters ain't looking to pick nobody up from school. They got better shit to do. And so you get my point? When you see gangsters outside the school waiting for the kids, because they say they got a war and these kids ain't walking home by themselves and they parents can't come over here because they ain't built. They popping on any fucking body they see. And that your mama ain't tough enough to come and get you. They gonna come get you. They gonna tell your mother, don't worry, miss, whatever her name is. We going to get them right now. All of them. Some of y'all my age, you like, yeah, I went through those same things, man. That part, they had morals back in the day. That's what I tell y'all, the gangsters in the street. The gangsters in the street wasn't what y'all are now. The gangsters in the street used to pay people rent and look out for everybody in the neighborhood, and these is the people that helped raise them. You see how I say I came up in the neighborhood and it's a war, they come pick me up from school? That like that. I start selling drugs, I'm gonna look out for these people. You short on your rent, I got you, man. That's how that happened like that. In the daytime, y'all look out for people for protection. In the past, we looked out for people for the payback and the pay forward. I'm holding blood down, paying her rent because I know that lady. When I was a little kid, she used to feed me. In her day, she was getting money. The times done changed. Her money slowed up. She can't keep up with the times, but that don't matter. Because I'm going to keep her up. And we was moving like that back in the day. We ain't moving like that no more. We trying to play each other out and shit on each other. And you get my point? It ain't even for nothing, really, when you think about it. And so we got to get back on track. You get my point? Meaning those of y'all that's young and those of y'all that's old. Everybody got to start putting their pride to the side. And start listening and kind of, you get it? There's a bunch of y'all in here my age. Y'all can all be like, yeah, brother's right. Yeah. But y'all quiet. Like, well, he right, but I ain't going to say nothing. These are young. We got to say something. They supposed to be locking in. You get my point? They supposed to be tight with each other, protecting the glory, which is your elders. All my age bracket, we supposed to be locked in, protecting our elders, which is our mothers and our fathers that's still here. And that they could walk around, they ain't got to worry about no young person or nobody doing nothing to them, because they know I got about 4, 5 youngins that'll pull up and beat the dog shit out of you or worse if I need it. You got women walking around, they ain't got no protection. They done burnt all their bridges and shit because we all competing with each other and doing each other dirty. And that the woman can't even call them in for protection because she done burnt her bridge with him. Like that. They got us going against each other. And it's a deep thing. Not all y'all. Some of y'all, you know. Y'all let the young know, you know, when I'm writing shit like that on things that, you know, they gotta know. Because the young gonna follow whoever they make seem like they supposed to. And that they make y'all feel like, man, I ain't supposed to follow Solace. Other dudes is cooler, but really that ain't the truth. Truth say it can't find a place to keep the night. Saying in my country, I forgot you from another place. Meaning I'm like y'all, but they gonna make y'all feel like I'm different. They gonna put a nigga in front of y'all with a Halloween costume on, but y'all look like me. You get my point? They gonna make you feel like, man, Salah's weird. Why he look like me and you got on a nightgown, nigga? Talking about you from Egypt. Like that. And so it's all perspective. The young dudes gonna listen to whatever they think they supposed to, but some of y'all better step in and tell them, nah. That little nigga over there right. Like, and he cooler than whoever you think is cool, man. And it's all perspective. Said I ain't never see it. You might not. Things don't seem to like go backwards. Life seem to go forward. So we gotta get the forward together, cause ain't no going backwards. So we groomed to be slaves out here. And the main part of being a slave is going against your own and your own self. And so that's what we naturally do. It's a deep thing. That's deep, right? Noble Tranquil said, I show some of my elders your videos and they say they don't like you, but they don't say why. They don't like that you like me and listen to me more than them. We live in a slave society. So your elders feel like they got control over your mind and you. They don't, society do, but they feel like they do. In that, when you listening to people outside of your family, and maybe these elders is wiser than your elders, so your elders gonna tell you don't like them. You get it? That's what I mean by this younger generation. They put on a path to think they supposed to like this person or that person, but it really all just be jealousy. You follow? You got a little brother, he like this dude or that dude more than you, and y'all the same age. So then you tell your little brother, man, fuck them, they ain't that cool, even though they are. Like that, we living like that, and that most of y'all elders will tell y'all, I don't really like Solace, but they don't know why. They don't like the attention I get that they don't. That's what they don't like. They don't like that you listening to me instead of them. But they haven't considered, well, is he telling them something better than I am? Like that. They ain't concerned with that. We get to the place where we more concerned with being the glory than seeing ours make it to it. We rather be the one to come up with the thing to say and do than actually just hoping it get did. And so if you young, you gotta just pay attention to these things and, you know, come to realize it on your own. Your peoples is slaves, and so maybe they free their mind at some point. Maybe they listen. They probably need me more than you, but y'all will come around and grasp things on y'all own time. You get it? I ain't got control over y'all minds, and anybody that's throwing me under the bus for their own, I ain't whoever you want looking to rule over. I ain't they slave. You get my point? Meaning you liking me may make your people disrespect me. I would tell them, hey, you don't need to reach to disrespect me because I don't want the little nigga. He don't got nothing to do with me. Like that. Because you ain't keeping up with him, now he is stray all over in my yard. Now you mad at me because your kid or your stray coming here to eat and I don't mind feeding him. But you get it? I ain't feeding the nigga so you could throw me under the bus after. Because you jealous because you forgot to feed him. And this is how most of y'all elders is. They forget to take a time out they day to school y'all for 2 or 3 hours. Then they like to sit and throw me under the bus. Oh, that nigga don't know what he talking about. Why you listening to him? Because I got more going than your goofy ass. My time free where I could take a moment out and talk to them and you ain't said shit to them ever. That's why. And so we got to get on the right track, you know? I'm supposed to be getting jewels every day from elders. Real shit like this, not dumb talk like, did you hear Big Meech got out? Y'all elders telling y'all dumb shit. They all lost in the gossip like y'all talking about the same dumb shit y'all are. They ain't telling you no old stories. Oh, it used to be like this, man. It was fun, you get it? They just dumbed out with y'all in society. Trying to impress y'all. Most of y'all look at y'all elders and y'all say that. It seem like these goofies trying to impress us. Instead of being elders, they trying to impress us. Look cool to us. That part. They putting the dumbest elders they could find in front of y'all, man. So y'all could be all dumbed out and chaotic, not working together. So they gonna put people like Charleston White, Jack Raw Wright, whoever the fuck is going against, they gonna put that in front of y'all. Y'all gonna have that mindset like, yeah, I need to tear somebody down and get on. They gonna make sure y'all know Tupac. Say, yeah, maybe I could diss a nigga like Pac did and get on. They gonna make sure y'all got all the morality y'all don't need to have. Nigga like me come along, tell y'all, nah, we got to work together. I remember niggas was working together. Then they gonna blackball me the fuck off, nigga, and be like, oh, hell no. His message ain't right. Well, why ain't it? What's wrong with it? And so this thing go deep. Y'all better pay attention. All that stuff, like you said, Whack 100 said this is all to just get y'all dumbed out. Keep y'all on violence and separation and all the dumb shit that don't matter. Why you cursing Dre and D out like that? Yeah, a lot of people got that jealous and envy spirit. She right about that. That's what be scaring me about y'all. Y'all get envious so fast. It let me see like, man, they don't view themselves as got no real worth. You get my point? And so you want to make sure you got a lot of talents and a lot of worths. That way you get my point. That way when you see a little well versed in you and things, you don't take offense. Otherwise, you get my point. Hi to him. Oh, Dre. Y'all weird, man. I thought Drea D was a girl. Everything they do is to keep y'all beefing. I don't care if it's a basketball game. Anytime you see sides, that's what that's for. So y'all can pick a side and get to arguing with each other. Like keep y'all from doing things y'all supposed to and keep y'all distracted and arguing. Y'all'll really be saying something if nobody vote. And show them we don't care. Get lost with all of that dumbness. Don't worry, Drea D, I got you. And so hopefully y'all grasp we gotta get our kids out of these systems because it's throwing their brains completely off, shallowing their minds out. And when it's all said and done and we gone, they gonna be nose deep in debt. With no goddamn backup in life, you get it? Nothing to hold on to, where it's just bad. And so, oh, you said y'all need a better view on that sunset, huh? Sunsetting kind of far back. It ain't setting like it usually do. Hold on, let me fix this. My house. My vision ain't right. What the fuck am I doing? That's so deep, right? Hold on, y'all. My eyeballs ain't working right now. I don't know what the hell. Camera straight or not. Ain't showing right. What's going on, big baby? Leave it where it was at. Messing with y'all. Y'all, the sunset everywhere. You feel me? Get to watching it on your side. It ain't straight. Sorry, I'm lost my sense of direction. So more than anything, pay attention to this system we live in because they got all kind of institutions and they really just institutions for brainwashing the mind of whoever to be a slave. In that, you get my point? We waste our whole lives away working. Meaning selling our time, and you get my point? You can't never get that back. Whatever you sold it for don't be worth it. And look at all your material items and they just reflections of times you had to sell and miss out on other things you might have wanted to do. So you get my point? If you young, take heed to what I'm saying. Use y'all money to free yourselves, man. It's all on what you know that's gonna make you, that's gonna determine what you want. I'll say that again. It's all about what you know that's gonna determine what you want. A lot of people know what they want according to the little bit that they know. They think what they want is so dope, but they don't realize they don't know a lot. And what you know is going to determine what you want. And so you get it? There's a book on my website called RDF, that's Removing Debt Forever. Land and Resource Wealth. It's like dual covered. Front cover and the back cover is both the cover. And you get my point? Go through that book when you got a chance. It explains everything in detail. From there, you could develop up your plan, and you get it. Maybe by the time you 40, 50, you be free. Adrian Kozowski said, "You're right, but none of this matters anyway. It's all a game and illusion." It's not an illusion. Niggas is really clocking in at work and sitting there all day looking at the goddamn floor. So when you say it's an illusion, for who? Who you talking about? Because everything I said is a reality that people gotta live, that people pissed off about. And so again, you say it's just an illusion. Whoever's sitting in jail for the rest of their life right now, what are you talking about? That's not an illusion. They there. You on that space talk. You on that talk where you just be dumb the fuck out. Like, they send people like you in to talk to slaves. To just tell them like, oh, don't worry what you're going through. It's just an illusion. Pray to the Lord. They had dumb niggas like you back in the day that used to come along and you get it? Sweet talk the slaves into their stupor. He said it's fake, it's Maya, it's an illusion. Yeah, I know. And you are a fucking slave that came here to keep niggas stuck on a dumb vibration by telling them, oh, don't worry, it's all an illusion. Like they fucking stupid and don't know. Nigga, I gotta get up in a little while to go to work, asshole. You got people that gotta be to work at 10 o'clock tonight, some at 7 p.m. They about to get up and go to work. And you sitting here trying to convince them it's an illusion? It's Maya? Blood, you better snap out of whatever stupid shit you on and get into reality, man. There ain't no other physical life out of this. If we sell all our time and waste all our time here, nigga, we ain't getting another one. Not on the same consciousness. So what you mean when you say, oh, it ain't a big deal? Yes, it is. It been a big deal when you consider there's people that died already yesterday, the day before that, and they ain't even realized none of this. They slaved their whole life away. They worked all the way that they was 60-something. You got some people who died at work. I got a cousin that died at work. Heart attack. Man, you crazy. Said we must be set free from those jobs. Yeah, you right, Khan. He on drugs. He on drugs playing games. But in real life, they got people like that come around. That's why I told y'all better get out of all that sweet talk. Be sending people to sweet talk y'all ears to death and say whatever y'all want to hear and whatever's gonna make you feel content with your lows. Oh, don't worry about it. It's okay. Blood, ain't nothing never okay when you ain't getting treated fair, and you don't never convince yourself it is. I don't care what situation you in the moment, but you don't never convince yourself some unfairness, some disrespect to your lifehood is okay. It ain't okay. Yeah, we got to put up with it right now, but it ain't okay. It ain't, oh, just an illusion. Oh, okay. The motherfucker that ain't got no dinner tonight, and this government ain't give them an alternative, meaning if you don't want to work so you could buy food and shit, well, we got this part of the land open where you could grow your own food and do you, so you don't starve. Person that's going to sleep tonight and they trying to figure out what bare minimum shit they gonna eat. And they got kids. And that ain't funny. I'm gonna say that again. And they got kids, and that's not funny. Anybody been poor before, they know what I'm talking about. That ain't funny. And that's a real reality that's about to happen at sunset. You got a young woman, an older woman, a man, trying to figure out how I'm gonna feed these kids tonight, man. And maybe the store give me some credit. And here you is talking about, no, it's just an illusion. And you why people lose it and go to jail for beating the shit out of somebody because they said the wrong dumb thing in the wrong moment. You get it? Where you say like, what? I'm gonna just beat him up, take all his money. I'll feed the kids that way. You that. Peace and wisdom, Adrian. It ain't funny. A lot of people don't be getting that, man. It ain't funny. I feel for the woman that's like that right now, the man, the young kid that ain't got no family like that. They're a little displaced right now. They trying to figure out where they gonna sleep tonight. That shit is not funny. Not even a little bit, especially if you've been through shit like that. That ain't funny, man. Trying to figure out what am I gonna do tonight, man? What's my best fucking option? And on top of that, we live in pride-filled times where you say, I don't even want to ask nobody because they'll make it worse. What's so funny about that? What's so illusion about that? And so these is problems in life, that's, you get it? This is why you see the things happening you do, because it's a lot of shit being ignored and you got people walking around up to their eyelids in problems with no alternative. It's just you gonna be a slave or die type shit. And so you get it? They done reached their breaking point, man. So I try to keep my eyes and ears to the street, because you get it? That shit start getting a little good for some of us and we be forgetting things. The brain start getting shallowed out. You forget the hard times because you ain't got nothing right there. The forgetting. And so if I got to come to the riverside and visit the ghettos ever so often so I never forget, so that's where you gonna see me ever so often. In the humble abodes, the humble places, because I can't afford to get shallowed out. I got people depending on me to speak on these things. It ain't about waking up. Everybody already woke. Nigga just knuckleheads like little kids now. But everybody already got their eyeballs open and they awoke. And they need to get their ears awoke. But until that happen, like I said, y'all got to start putting 1 + 1 together. You gonna have other teachers that's gonna try to convince y'all not to listen to me, but they not telling y'all to do the same thing though. I don't care if no nigga telling you don't listen to me, if he telling you the same shit, at least if it's gonna, you get it? If he telling you to work together and do this and that and he gotta play for y'all, cool. But just to tell a nigga don't listen so you could keep them stuck on stupid. Remember when I first started and I said, man, Sarnetta and these conscious community dudes been teaching since I was 8 years old, man. And they gonna be teaching another 10 years straight, nigga, and they having y'all stuck on stupid still. And every word I said that first year I started is the truth right now. We 1 year away from 10 years. Some of y'all been following me since I said that. There you go, Petty Gibbs. Was I lying? I said these niggas gonna keep y'all stuck on stupid for decade after decade. And whatever they pumping, it just keep us stuck where we don't never really do nothing. We just be like, oh yeah, we from Africa. Blood. Y'all better wake up, man. He said, brother Sanchez. A lot of these dudes, man. And it's truly unfucking fortunate that you got a bunch of teachers competing with each other, and you get it. At the same time, niggas stuck on stupid, like. And so y'all better start to grasp things. I suppose you gonna have people try to convince y'all anything they can so that y'all won't listen to me. But if y'all listen to me, then y'all will see y'all got the power. The power start in working together. That's why we losing, cause we don't do that. And so you ain't got to reach for nothing else. All you need to do is avoid anything that's talking about separation. Nigga tell you be a Hebrew, you don't need to. Cause Hebrews is separate from Pan-African monkeys, and all the groups like to be separate from one another so they can argue. And so you say I ain't joining no motherfucking group cause that's what's keeping us separate. And you stand on the things that's gonna bring us back together. And you let niggas stand on whatever they wanna stand on that's gonna keep us separate. Some of y'all in these Pan-African communities, Hebrew Israelite, you Black Panther, you this or that. Y'all standing on the same shit that y'all complaining about. Say we need to be unified. Well then why y'all got separate groups? That don't go together. Again, how you got separate groups, but we supposed to be unified? They all feel like everybody need to be unified under their agenda or their group. And so like I said, the groups is keeping us separate. Why we can't just be all unified under nature and the learnings from that? That part. Because it's about keeping y'all stuck on dumb, and most of the people we listen to already sold us out. Meaning they was already paid and bought, and you get my point? And they learn they living from keeping you niggas on stuck on stupid and dumb, and you get my point? And they grow and y'all don't. And that's the order. Anybody get mad, that's cool. But you just keep track of what I said and how you doing what I said. You should be mad at that. Don't be mad at me. Be mad at that I'm right. Because that's what you could control. Do you get it? You ain't get mad. Oh, this nigga Brother Solid said that. That's cool, nigga. But get mad at how I'm right, too. Because everything I said got to do with that. People can still control their groups and exploit their groups, because that's all it's about. It's an exploitation party. You join the group so everybody in the group could just tear each other down, and you get my point? The Bloods kill the Bloods, the Crips kill the Crips, the Pan-Africans tear down the Pan-Africans, and the Hebrews do the same. It ain't a group you gonna join where their job ain't to tear each other down and argue with the opposing group. Serving separation, playing stupid at the same time. The problem is most of y'all are already aligned with groups, and so you get my point? Cause you a coward and don't properly care about your young. You act like what I'm saying is wrong until your young join one of these groups, and then the group take their ass out. Who killed Malcolm? His group. Big who said tell no lies. Just the ugly truth that nobody wanna hear. But that ain't my problem, cause your ears is your own problem. All I say is give back. But when they start hating and put me on the blacklist, they already got me on that, but you get it? Other than that, take these Jews, man, apply them to self and start, you get it? Getting these young people to work together. Because we all old and we all gonna die, but they ain't. They gonna be here. And so we need to start getting every goddamn thing out of our race that was put in it. We didn't make up Blood and Crips, and we didn't make up all these goofy ass groups we fallen into. We didn't make up none of these dumb presidential parties, or what do you call Republican and Democrats, political parties. We ain't make up none of these dumb things, and we need to just remove ourselves from it. So we can get back to our thing, which is, you get it? Being one people and having a good fucking time. You get it? Making good use of our time by having fun with it. And so hopefully a lot of y'all grasp that. I debate scholars, champ. I don't debate people that, you get my point? To separate me from whoever you think I need to debate. Your brain ain't on point. But you can like whoever you want. I ain't saying you can't. But we ain't the same, big baby. I could go to any college and pass whatever test they got. If you don't think you capable of that, you don't ever need to have it in your brain. I could debate him. No, you can't. If you can't read the hardest books that they have in society, you don't never need to have me in your brain as I should debate him. No, you shouldn't. I'm well versed, well spoken. I can read. I'm the spelling bee champ. That's all I could tell you. We talking about in school when I was a kid. You was in my class, you know that. Spelling bee champ. Always been the smartest person in the class. I ain't wasn't the good one. I ain't gonna say I ain't stay in the principal's office, but I got a lot of slack cause you get it? The top of the class. I'm the reason why they gonna get more money at the end of the year. Cause you know y'all be failing and shit. I'm fucking up the school got too many failures, then that school gonna get shut down, so you get my point. I help to keep the schools open, so they keep me around, shenanigans I be doing, but they keep me around though. Peace and wisdom, noble tranquil. I think he told a lot of people that already. But when I first started, a lot of these dudes were students, so a lot of people just lost in time. But Eligio, a bunch of people. Young Pharaoh used to follow me. His name was Sandra Bland. I didn't even know that. I thought that was a girl. I didn't even know who none of y'all was. You get it? That's why a lot of people be taking offense to me, because they like, I chumped them off at one point in time, but I don't know none of y'all. You get it? You know how this environment is. You go viral, everybody try to attach themselves to you, because you know niggas fuckers be users, but I don't know what's going on, so I'm naturally just chumping niggas off. Like, get lost. Who are you? Like, and that, you get my point? Y'all be a little lit on here, but if I ain't a part of the environment, I have no clue who you is. I'm grown. I ain't a kid online and all that, so I don't know Young Pharaoh lit or none of this shit. I just blow the nigga off. I just blow the nigga off like he nobody, so then y'all feel like I got ego. Then, I'm flying shit. Y'all be looking like, I'm looking a little goofy in my presence. But we all need to just work together. That's the main thing. You get my point? But until then, y'all young just need to, y'all need to work on. You make sure y'all work together. Y'all ain't got to compete with each other, because there's too many talents and things in this life to be done where everybody could just find their own place in their own lane, and every little piece serve the whole. And you get it? And just start moving forward. The elders start putting y'all up on little game and little tricks that they got out here to keep us, off track, and keep everything on track. Try to keep everything peaceful. The more violent things you hear and see, the more you gonna bring it into your spirit. It's gonna make it hard for you to work with people, and you get it, you're gonna be volatile. And so it all starts with what you're hearing and seeing. We need to start hearing and seeing more positive things on a daily. At least make sure the kids are, so that be more instilled in them than, you get it? Going the violent way and, the self-destructive way, because that's all violence do. It make you crash out. And that's where they want us, on the crash out course. And so, and everything I just said ain't no disrespect to Young Pharaoh or Eligio. None of them. Like I said, we all should be working together. In my perfect world, we be getting Eligio out so we could discipline that nigga and beat him the fuck up and get him. You get it, and he gotta get his DP. You fucked up, nigga. And once we straighten him out, he get in line, and then we move as a people like we supposed to. And the same with young Pharaoh and whoever else fucked up. And slap them around a little bit, get them in order, let them know ain't nobody above the pocket, nigga. And if you try that shit again, you feel me? And you gonna make right for whatever you fucked up and whatever you took. And from there, they redeem themselves, they get back on the path, and we all help each other and get this shit going. Outside of that, well, separate, you already see the reality. Nigga sitting in jail, this nigga over here, this nigga, you get it? And so, whatever. Big who said gonna be alright. I keep my wisdom, I keep everything truthful. I don't make no room for error, so nobody can exploit me on it. And most of y'all better start to move that way. It ain't about being at the top or the bottom. You find your place somewhere in the middle, and you get yourself a couch and you kick back, nigga, and enjoy the ride. And watch the niggas ahead of you fall off the cliff, and you watch the niggas behind you get left. And you stay in that middle. Drea D said, now them two ain't falling in line. I wouldn't even try with them. Crazy. I will thug Eligio out. I already did. Some of y'all just new here. Me and Eligio had an argument when I first came, and I told this nigga, man, I know where you at in Atlanta. He thought I was local. He didn't know I used to sell dope, and I be all over the place. I'm telling him, like, you see where you at and doing your video? My peoples live right over there. Fuck you talking to? I guess he went to my Facebook friends list and he actually seen people like, oh, that is, he do know people over here. I'm from Atlanta too. I'm from there though. This nigga went online and told everybody if something happened to me, Solace did it, and you get it? He showed he was ass. He ain't built like that. Y'all just be tough when y'all want to be. But it don't be all the way, like. And so you get my point. We really got hands. We really know how to use them straps. And you get my point. Ain't nothing over here fake. If you could fight and you good, you get it? You gonna get your W. But if your ass is fronting in any way, I'm not the nigga you want to try and act like, let me try this bluff game. I'll crush you. That's for any of them. The bluff game and shit ain't for me. I'm not gonna bluff with you. Pull the fuck up. I'll crush any of them. We already went through this. But you get it? Like you said, they do got little egos, but everybody could get in line. You get it? Everybody could crease. It's all on the pressure that's applied. But you get my point? Anybody could crease and be folded and put in line. Nobody's bigger than the pocket. Period. Not even me. Nobody. And once you lose that perspective, so that's where we at where we at. Because y'all think there's people bigger than the pocket and ain't nobody. You high if you think so. Most men can't stand on their own too. They gonna stand on a crew or whoever they can, but you get my point? And so you don't never gotta lie to yourself like, this person bigger than the pocket. Whoever y'all think bigger than the pocket, I bet you it's a bunch of people they depend on to make them bigger than the pocket. And that you already know, ain't nobody bigger than the pocket. When I say bigger than the pocket, I'm talking about the whole. Ain't nobody bigger than the whole group of people. In that, they gonna fall in line. Some of y'all say I will put them in line, and I believe you. I will let you. You can go ahead and put them in line. Let me know when you're done, so we can get this going, like. And that got to be the mindset everybody have, and whoever got to be putting in line don't need to be crying about it. I'm old school. If I do something wrong, I ain't got no problem standing on it, taking whatever the punishment is and moving forward in clean mind. Not feeling like, oh, I don't feel like I was did right. Blood, I got what I was supposed to. Same when I was young. If I get a beating and I know I was wrong, I ain't holding on to that. It just is what it is. I got caught. We're gonna clear that slate out, take what we gotta take, and keep it pushing forward. So you get my point? And most of y'all grew up the same way. Your mama whooped your ass. You ain't take no offense to it. You was more real with yourself back then. You say, man, I was wrong. I ain't listen. Fuck it. Got caught. Is what it is. And so I mean like that. We got to get back like that. We ain't nobody bigger than the pocket and everybody like got room for error. Where they say I can make a mistake. Ain't no big deal. I could take the punishment for it and you get it. Everything be good from them. But everybody got to feel like they a part and they can't be cut off. And that, you feel me? Meaning if y'all know y'all not going to get cut off ever from y'all tribe and y'all family, y'all can just get disciplined at most. If y'all keep everything within a guideline, most of y'all will stand on y'all business if y'all got to get disciplined or something because you did the wrong thing. I ain't talking gang discipline, where you get beat up or something. I was just playing on that part. It ain't never about that. But you gonna put some work in, whether it be you serving these kids every day in some kind of way, or you gonna put some work in that you don't want to, but you gonna do it, or you gonna get fucked up. I mean like that. Everybody gotta pay you get it? Everybody gotta pay the piper, man. That's the devil. You do the devil stuff, you got to pay the piper, man. It's only fair. And so I'm old school. I deal with solid people. They gonna show up for their own DP and tell you, I messed up, I need to be fixed. Like, discipline me. I'm serious. I know people like that. I'm like that. I like to make examples. Blood, y'all scared to get disciplined. Y'all scared to do the wrong thing. And man, let me show you how this go. I do the wrong thing on purpose so you see how it's supposed to be. I'll pull up and put myself on the plank. You see what I'm doing? It's what you do when you do wrong. You do wrong proudly. Like, hold your head up high the same way you did it when you did it wrong. When you get caught, you do the same thing. And you get it. You stand on your business and try to keep everything right from there. And that's how it was in the past. Everybody standing on their business. The business is whatever the rules and things is for the whole. And ain't nobody bigger than the pocket or the whole. And so you get it? Keep everything solid. And that's for every other race out here. Y'all all, you get it? Stand on a square of some sort. Live for something. Or you ain't gonna die for nothing. And the two go hand in hand. Young, make sure you got some friends, man. Don't isolate yourself out. I be seeing a lot of y'all young, y'all be kind of isolated out. You gotta mingle and jangle and get used to like dealing with other people. You get older, maybe you need to isolate a little bit to get yourself back, because you be done gave yourself all to the world. If you lost, you see how I go live and I do what I do, and all of y'all got different perspectives of what y'all want and how y'all want me to be. Like that. If I listen to everything y'all say, I'll be stretched out. But that's what's going to happen when you present yourself to the world. So you get it? At some point, you're going to have to take yourself back and you get it? Get everything back together. But when you're young, you need to be out in the world and learning and getting experiences. And you get my point? Building relationships. So you can have a tribe and you get it? A little circle and crew of your own where y'all like the same things. Not talking about a group or a gang where y'all go against people. Talking like a family. The big brother and the little brother don't hang together. They got their own friends, but these friends don't come before them being brothers. They don't forget that. Like that. Everybody gonna like what they like, and you get my boo. Gonna come and, you know, mingle and jingle with that, whoever they feel. But at the end of the day, it ain't good to be separate. And so, if you young, sunset beautiful is throwing me off, my bad. If you young, make sure you mingle and jingle, you know, with your age bracket. Different sunsets, meaning the different days look different, but they all have different energies. Like you got different emotional state, different days. And that the sunset different colors every day, but most people don't watch the sunset every night. So if you look at like this video, or maybe the other video I did maybe last week where the sun was setting, you'll see like the colors are different. It's more purplish tonight instead of like the other video was like pink. Understand the emotions of nature, you know what day. Different colors is like different emotional states. That mean a feeling tonight is not the same as the feeling was that other night. And if you compare the two nights, you'll realize that, like, oh yeah, when the sun was setting that night, it had a different feeling than it do this night. And the way you feel and the outer feeling is different. And of course, that knowledge goes deeper. It's getting a little cold. I've been on here for 2.5 hours. Let me see if y'all gave back. Nope, I'm about to depart. When y'all give back, I don't mind staying on, you know, long like it's a job. But, you know, once you get past an hour, you talking a job. Like, talking, you know, hourly wage out this mob. Peace and wisdom, noble, tranquil. Okay, salam, shalom. Cash at me. I'll stay on a little longer. I don't mind. The rest of y'all as well. I don't want you to think one person doing it gonna make me, but I'll give him an extension. You know, a little 5-10 minutes. It's getting a little cold out here. If y'all want me to stay long and y'all give back, I'll stay. I can do up to an hour. Now, in regards to the different appearances of the sky in the day, meaning that in the night, peace and wisdom. Thank you for the give and receive. Peace and wisdom, boss man. Now, if you pay attention to the different days, like the sunrise and the sunset of the day, and you become in tune with the understanding of that, a lot of y'all can wake up before the sunset and see how the colors in the sunset to know what kind of day it will be in regards to like the energy and flow, and that you can transcend your own. Meaning some days you wake up, it's going to be an emotionally chaotic day, and the rising and the setting of the sun and its colors will let you know like what flow the day is on. If it's going to be a chaotic feeling day or you know, a smooth day. But you're not one with the day, so the day is just influencing your emotional state, so you can always kind of tap out. You get my point? And so let's say you in tune with the rise and sunset. So you looking at this one, you say, yeah, it's different than the other day. This is more violet, so maybe it's going to be a little chaotic tonight. Meaning maybe my thoughts and my emotional state may be running a little, you know, a little bit on a negative more than it would be, you know, on any other night. Now, that's not what those colors mean. I'm just giving you an example. It's going to be a nice, peaceful night. Most of y'all going to see that tonight. Meaning your emotional state should be good tonight. And most of y'all should feel calm. You know, the more the sunset, the more calm you should feel. Some people just chaotic, like I said, we ain't got to be one with the day, and that some of y'all just chaotic, period. So your night gonna be chaotic. You ain't in tune with the day, and the day ain't got no control over you. You do what you want. Don't you get my point? When you come to understand the differences in the sunset and the sunrise, and how, you know, there are different emotional states for the day, like different vibrations. And of course, it influences our vibration. And that you see the sunset, you say, "Ooh, it's gonna be a rough day today. Let me, sit a little longer and transcend my energies and prepare myself, so that when I do get a little disturbed, I could just transcend it. Already knowing the day is set for me to be aggravated, but I ain't going with it. You get it? Sometimes y'all get negative thoughts in y'all minds, drive y'all crazy throughout the day. Sometimes y'all don't. But this is all set on a schedule depending on the sunrise and the sunset. Some of y'all say, man, if you think and start reflecting, you'll say, damn, man, yesterday I was getting negative thoughts, or maybe you was aggravated. You was getting thoughts of past experiences that bother you. Who knows? You just getting aggravated off any little thing you could. And today it ain't like that so much. Nothing happened different, but just today it ain't like that so much. It's because of what I just said with the sunrise and the sunset. It determines the emotional state for everything in life that day, but they don't have to stay on the vibration. So you got sunny days all the way down to rainy, gloomy days. And these all have to do with emotional states. And what influences ours? Of course, people can influence our emotional state as well. So you don't got to get lost. A bunch of things can influence your emotional state, but you don't have to let it. But if you ain't aware, then it'll get you. You get it? Look at it like that. If you ain't aware of what I said in regards to the sunrise and sunset, then these forces may get you. But if you are aware, then you know what's happening already, so then it don't really get you. Look at it like that. As long as you're aware of self and aware of the outer, nothing will get you. That's not to say it won't have an effect or play on you, but it won't get you. It's a rainy, gloomy day, so you say, I hate rainy days, man. And you get it? Here you go. Into your own inner gloom. But you can always snap out of it and say, you know what? I actually like rainy days. I like to listen to how, it sounds. And then I get to chill in the house and save money. And you just start building on, like, why you like rainy days. Completely transcending that whole thing out your mind. And that, catch up on some Netflix and some chilling and all types of things and make the best out of your rainy day. And make some love, all that. You follow? It give you a reason to turn on the goddamn fireplace and roast some marshmallows. And you get my point? You got to make the best out of things. Usually when you do that, you come to realize, now I actually like the bad times too. Of equal measure. It's deep like that. You'll come to realize that. Like, the hard times wasn't that bad when I'm reflecting back on it. I kind of liked it a little bit. I didn't like it, but I liked it. Think about it. Y'all went through hardship. Y'all all went through hard times. When y'all be telling y'all little stories, y'all be pulling for the hardship to tell. Man, I was poor. That's what I mean. Like, when you get over the hardship and all of that shit be your glory. Like, you liked it. Nigga get out of jail, you be like, I did 10 years. Proud. He ain't proud he went to jail for 10 years. It's the hardship and the overcoming it. And you get it? It's the glory. Like, you come to realize I like my hard times just like as much as I like my good times, because you get it? It all go together. The good times is on top of the hard times. Like, once you go through the hard times, you make the good times what they supposed to be. No hardship, no good times. Just spoil you brattedness. You follow? Little rich kid don't get nothing out of life. He know no hardship, so it don't build nothing in him to make it that much better. He don't know no rain. But for those of y'all that's poor and then all of that transcended, do you get my point? That's heaven. That's a feeling most can't, they don't know. The rich kid that was born rich, he don't know that. He got all the shit you got, but he just don't get, like, the feeling you got. You in awe, you in bliss, and he just mad and spoil you because he like, I want something new now. Every time he gets something, he wants something new now, because that's how I go with him. He get one thing, he wasted, then he get another thing. He spoil you. You ever see two kids playing, and the one kid got all the toys, and then the other kid got one little piece of shit toy, but they playing that shit in the dirt? Then the kid with all the toys go over to them and try to like interfere with their fun, trying to play with their one toy. He got all the toys in the world, but now you like that little toy now. Or you ever see a kid with a lot of toys, he keep his toys all kicked to the side, then a poor kid come playing with his toys, now he magically love his toys. It's because of what I said. Don't understand the joy. Like, why do they like, why he like it so much? We got the same toy, why he having more fun with it than me? Because it mean more to him. He know what you don't. Meaning he got an experience that you don't, which is not being able to have shit. And so now that he got it, that part, it's what it's truly supposed to be. A toy that get played with, and with you, it's just something that's kicked over to the side. And so life is like that. Take your time, and you get it? Pay attention to your blessings. Knowing that all your blessings, there's a duty for you to do attached to it. Y'all sitting and moping around and praying and hoping that you get this blessing or that blessing. Is for something. It ain't for you to be bullshitting. And so that's for anybody that got any blessings. You could be a famous rich rapper all the way to somebody that just got blessed. You was behind on rent and you just got that money somehow. You spend that shit on that rent and you do what you're supposed to. Meaning you obliged to the duty that come with the blessing. You was broke and you said, if I could just be a famous rapper, I swear I'm gonna take care of the whole family. But you ain't been doing that. You forgot about that. You say, fuck all these niggas, man. They been hating on me now. But it wouldn't matter. You still got a duty to fulfill. And when you don't, that's when you lose the blessings. And so you always remember that. If I get a blessing, there's an obligation attached to that blessing. And you'll know what it is. Because you the one asked for the blessing. You begged for it in your mind. And now you got it. And so you get it, do what you're supposed to. If you don't never be bitter if the blessing get taken from you. It was just. And so you get my point. Keep everything on the up and up. See if y'all gave back. Thank you, brother, for the give back. I appreciate it. That covered that last piece of 10 minutes I just gave y'all. Hopefully y'all apply the things I said. But more than anything, you know, try to flush the emotional state out of all the past traumas and try to, you know, flush the mind out of the negative thoughts that, you know, kind of reemerge the emotional feelings. And then from there, just stay clean, you know? Meaning once you can get the mind and the emotional state cleaned out, all you got to do is keep it that way. You already got experiences and you already know what's going to piss you off. And you already know who not to deal with now in your older age. And so you get it. Once you get the conscious clean and you get the emotional state clean, you just keep it like that. By using your higher mind. You ain't got to judge people or none of that. Your experiences, your instincts, you already know. You get it? And let bygones be bygones. Now I'm departing. Peace and wisdom, Drea D. Boss man. Gold Scent. Noble Tranquil, thanks again. You too, Drea D. Thank you again. And the rest of y'all lovely spirits that came in here, took a time out for y'all own selves, you know. It all starts there. Now I'm gonna enjoy the rest of this little piece of sunset. And then it's supper time. Salam.